We welcome you live to the NASCAR iRacing FedEx Grand National Series Season number 5 race in Charlotte. And we are here live tonight from Charlotte Motor Speedway. This is the FedEx Grand National Series, and it, of course, is the longest Grand National Series race of the season from Charlotte Motor Speedway. And iRacing's already causing some crap. All right. Anyways. So we are just about ready to go here tonight from Charlotte Motor Speedway. Welcome live. All right, hang on. Anyways, the Grand National Series obviously back tonight. Race number 9 of the Grand National Series season during Charlotte 600 week for the league. Of course, the Charlotte 600 for the Cup Series is tomorrow night, as always. Of course, 134 laps tonight. Usually a mile-and-a-half race is is just 100, so 134 is the usual length of a normal Cup Series mile-and-a-half race. Of course, the Cup Series this week a lot longer than that for the 600. But we're going to have to see how tonight goes. Like I said, 134 laps, 201 miles, 30 minutes, half-hour warm-up session coming up first. We'll be going over some of your things to watch out for tonight, some of the race details, also your point standing entering tonight here at Charlotte Motor Speedway. There's been some changes towards the front of the field here in the Grand National Series as of late. All right, and we're back in the booth here. Joined us up. Oh, my God. Joining us tonight in the booth, he'll actually be racing, will be Landon Johnson, but he'll also be in-race reporter as well. Of course, he's full-time in the Cup Series, making a Grand National Series start tonight. But any of you guys that are racing today, that are in here right now, what can we really expect out of the new iRacing update with the Grand National Series car here at Charlotte Motor Speedway, you think?
Oh, I don't know. I haven't driven it yet.
Has anyone driven it?
Yeah,
No.
I did.
All right, Ashton Miller,
Super
what do we
Speedway
think?
doesn't count, Ashton Miller.
You know, what do you mean? This is Vegas, idiot. It's okay. It's not. It's better than the other. It's better than the original car. You can actually like drive behind people and get them loose now.
All right, we'll see how tonight goes. Of course, like I said, a brand new update that came out yesterday. There was a bunch of new things with NASCAR. There was also the new Ram added to the Truck Series, but cars are on the racetrack here in Charlotte Motor Speedway. We are live from Concord, North Carolina. We are back home. It's America's home for racing and the home of NASCAR as well. And cars are on track here for this warm-up session. Half hour coming up here in Charlotte for the 2 laps qualifying, and then this 134-lap race from Charlotte tonight. Here comes the first car. Oh my God, that's a hell of a voice crack. iRacing reporter, the 89 there of Landon Johnson. All right, here we go. It is race number 9 of the season, like I said, and cars are on the racetrack for this warm-up session. So you're going to see something you usually don't see in the Grand National Series tonight with this brand new package. So we'll just see how it goes. Racing should be probably relatively different.
One thing that changed is that I know this isn't really a drafting track, but it's going to take a while to build runs now.
That's definitely a good thing, because this isn't obviously supposed to be in any sort of drafting track. Definitely not going to look like what iCar looked like last night. And of course, it is the patriotic week in the NASCAR iRacing FedEx League. We'll have a lot of ceremonies tomorrow night, remembering our fallen veterans and heroes here in the United States of America. But you're going to see a lot of patriotic paint schemes on the racetrack tonight for Grand National. And of course, tomorrow night for the Cup Series. Here is one of them, the America 250 car of Cole Clausen. Beautiful red, white, and blue on that machine this week. They're your winner at Phoenix this season. All right, and then another one on the race here is the 28 of Joseph Lewis for Ethan Trendler Racing. Also got the 23 of Jacob Clarino. Got Cole Wilson in the 22 car. Cole Wilson had a bit of an incident last week at Dover. I mean, any of you guys want to like maybe fill us in what happened?
Yeah, he hit the pit barrels like an idiot. Idiot.
Yeah, Cole Wilson was attempting to enter pit road and then at Dover under green. But unfortunately, drove it a little bit too deep and hit the pit barrels, like we said. All right.
That's what the driver's doing.
Cars, though, making their way through 1 and 2. Here's Jacob Malone in the 66 car. He's had a rough going this season in Grand National. His first full-time year in the Grand National Series. No wins this season. But yeah, he's even outside of the top 10 in points if we look right now. Jacob currently sits down in 12th. He's definitely not where he expected to be this season. Was expected to be a championship contender. Same thing with the 22 of Cole Wilson. Of course, Cole, your defending series champion, currently sits 8th in points after another DNF last week in Dover. Oh, now that 22 car going to get loose and slam the wall. Speaking of points, I should say, let's look at your standings entering tonight here at Charlotte. Christian Herklotz, after a good race and then a bad race from Ethan McMillan in Dover last week, he now has a 18-point lead over McMillan. You got Jacob Clarino still in third, your winner at Rockingham this season. Cole Clausen, a winner at Phoenix, is fourth. Knox Thompson impressively in fifth. Brody Webster somehow still in sixth. You see Cherry seventh. Like I said, Cole Wilson down in eighth. Gottlieb's ninth. Aiden Sleightum is P10 in the standings right now. Heading to race number 9 of the season in Charlotte. It's our second mile and a half of the year. Of course, first one, the only other one was Atlanta earlier this year. And here's that 48 of Knox Thompson. Talking about him inside of the top 5 in points through 3 and 4. And the 89 of Landon Johnson ahead of him. Landon's loose, it looks like. So Landon, you made a couple lap times here, currently 10th on the board here at Charlotte. What has been the feeling of this new package here at Charlotte Motor Speedway so far?
I've only ran like one lap around the middle. No laps on like the top. But, I mean, the car's pretty neutral. I mean, you can drive it. I mean, you can drive it in. I don't feel no difference, but like, you know, I'm not no professional like Ashton Miller, you know.
Ashton Miller, absolutely incredible is what he does. Here comes Richard Cherry. Second week in a row, he's going to be actually switching to the 31 car. I believe next week, though, or in 2 weeks, I should say, at Homestead, Miami. He should be back in the 8. As he will head down the back straightaway. Was in position to win the race last week at Dover until ran out of fuel in the final lap while trying to pass Bryce Benson. Oh, and around goes Eli Tomlin, then 90. He's going to take out another car. That's the 37 of White Youngblood, and then Tomlin going to spin to the inside at the wall again. There's Sherry, there's Johnson, there's Cole Wilson. Here's the 10 of Carlos Ortiz, making one of his select Grand National starts this season. Currently, Ortiz is 4th here in this warm-up session so far. There's Malone down the back straightaway, the 71 there, or the 60, I should say, of Nolan Crane. Here's the 27 of Rojan Koch, another patriotic paint scheme. The 8 of Cameron Chandler making his one of his select Grand National Series starts. Of course, Cameron, normal Cup Series regular, a win this season at Rockingham. Here is your points leader, Christian Herklotz, down the front straightaway in that 00 car. Of course, looks to extend his points lead tonight. Currently top of the board is Maddox Beard, and then actually the part-time entry for Screaming Luigi Racing in the 17. This is actually their first ever part-time race. So good to see them here top of the board already. Screaming Luigi Racing, of course, has run a lot of other races here in the Cup Series and the Grand National Series in the past. But here comes Cole Wilson helping his teammate Cameron Chandler around the outside. Cole Wilson would love to get the victory lane tonight for the first time this season. Oh, desperately needs that hard. On the wall goes Wilson down the front straight. Oh, Kylan Wilson, that is. Down the front straightaway here at Charlotte. There's Cole Clausen back on the racetrack. Joseph Lewis in the 28 as well. And also Knox Thompson. Patriotic paint scheme here for Landon Johnson at Cars.com on board. Also got 28 of Lewis, like I said, also patriotic paint scheme. Same thing with Cole Clausen. Drivers love America besides Cameron Chandler, apparently. Our own Wilson going to get slammed. And he's in the wall with Chandler. Go down to the inside. There's the 60 alone. And the 71 car there of Cole Clausen. You got the 06 there. And here's the 17, currently top of the board. That's 17 there of Maddox Beard. All right, about 12 minutes complete here in practice for the NASCAR iRacing FedEx Grand National Series in Charlotte. Of course, like we said, patriotic weekend around the NASCAR iRacing FedEx League. See a lot of patriotic paint schemes on the racetrack tonight. We're going to see some also some Cup regulars. Can maybe a Grand National regular get a win tonight? They've only had 2 wins this season, Cole Clausen and Jacob Clarino, but it got a lot of guys like Cole Wilson, Cheery, Jacob Malone, Christian Herklotz are all looking for wins. Crazy they haven't won at all this year. Here's Eden Holes in the 42, full-time Cup regular, making a start here in Grand National this week. Of course, a lot of these Cup drivers getting ready for the Coca-Cola or Charlotte 600 tomorrow night. Coles will head down into 1 and 2 here in the 42 car. Here's Kerry Freeds in the 4. There's the 00 of Christian Herklotz, the 89 there of Landon Johnson in the bottom. Here's the 27 of Rojan Cook, the 8 of Cameron Chandler as well. The 07 of Modzelski, now 3. Oh man, big hit down here on the inside. All right, so still going here in Charlotte. Nearly halfway through this forum session. Of course, like we said, qualifying is coming up next here at Charlotte Motor Speedway. There's the 5 of Gary Smith. His way down to 1 and 2. 2 Ford Mustangs in line with Cole Clausen behind 2. Of course, it is, like I said, the longest Grand National race of the season. 134 laps, 34 longer than a usual mile and a half race. So drivers are going to have their work cut out for them tonight. Here's Knox Thompson down the 3 and 4 in that 48 car. Christian Herklotz coming to pit road as well. You would have to make green flag pit stops. Didn't have a lot of cautions in this race, so it is a good thing to check pit road speed. Make sure you can get the pit road nicely and whatever during this warm-up session. And you're at pace. So obviously, when we have our pit road speed check, pit box check during the pace lap, we're not actually at speed. Here's George Kerry Freeds down the front straightaway in that forward car. Behind him, the 10, Carlos Ortiz. Nolan Crane there in the 60 car. And you got the 06 on the bottom of the part-time car for Chandler Wilson Racing this season. And the 17, Maddox Beard, still top of the board here in Charlotte.
Yeah. Lap times fell off like pretty early in the track did. Like nobody's really like going up the board.
Noticed that for sure. All right, crash on pit road. That was the 20 there of Sean Rowe. For his full-time Cup regular, just won at Dover last week for his 2nd win of the season. We're going to take the ultimate prize, the Charlotte 600, on Thursday, or tomorrow, I should say. And there's that 21 of Shepard coming to pit road in the wall hard in one car. That was the, not really sure who that was, but just blinked out. Spinning ahead of them in the wall hard goes Sean Rowe with the 90 of Eli Tomlin on the backstretch. Here's the 37 of Youngblood to the inside, passing Cole Wilson. And Rojan Coke heading down the front straightaway, back into 1 and 2 here. So going pretty much into the unknowns here. First ever race with this package in the Grand National Series here in Charlotte. What are we going to see? cars crashing here down the front straightaway into holes around with another one. There's 60 there. 26 of Ethan and Sanchez on the bottom as well. Sorry, iRacing's, I don't know what we're doing here. Hang on, we gotta reload iRacing real quick. The frame rate is awful. So we're gonna get you back here in just a minute. Still under the warm-up session here at Charlotte Motor Speedway for the Grand National Series. Of course, this is going to be a very long race for the Grand National drivers tonight. So, Lennon, let me ask you this question. I know you're a full-time Cup driver, so you guys are used to the 134 lap races. But do you think this is going to be like something these Grand National drivers are going to have to get, or I don't know how to put this.
Gonna have to adapt to.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's gonna be an endurance race. It's always been an endurance race for Grand National. It's just gonna be whoever can avoid all the crashes and just be there at the end for a finish, especially like these full-time guys.
I mean, yeah, guys like, well, let's look at the points real quick. Guys like Herklotz, he would love a win tonight. Ethan McMillan needs to get a good finish tonight if he wants to stay in championship contention still. With over half the season to go even, there's a lot of time for things to happen. A guy like Jacob Malone, he is in need of a great run tonight, probably a win to even stay near the top. Of course, he's currently 12th in the points right now. All right, so we're back here live. Got a bunch of lane cars on the racetrack right now, obviously. Around goes Knox Thompson. Of course, unlike the Cup Series, there's no halfway break tonight for these Grand National drivers. They're doing 134 laps straight. If it goes green, that would be the longest run in Grand National Series history. Easily. Yeah, a mile length, that would be 201 miles. And you would probably see, I don't know,
at least
stops maybe?
I'd say 3.
I don't know. It's gonna be
It
interesting.
just depends how bad the tires wear out.
Of course, they get an extra set of tires tonight, 4 instead of 3. Into the race length. We got a car flipping upside down as that 20 car of Sean Rowe for Ethan Trendler Racing. The ETR cars currently sit 3rd with Jacob Malone. They also sit 22nd there with Sean Rowe, the second one of them. They also have Joseph Lewis, 18th currently. Here comes the 06 down the front straightaway, and also Landon Johnson. Or Landon, are you running for your own team tonight?
I don't care.
Well, I mean, their car had to come out of someone's shop, so I don't really know. Who was it?
Cameron Chandler Wilson.
What?
Racing.
Wow.
Nah. We'll say this is my car tonight in case I do good.
All right. So Johnson Motorsports there. Stop outside Action 2 Ford Mustangs. There's Gary Smith. Always got an interesting paint scheme, as you can see. Here's the 10 of Carlos Ortiz on the outside as well.
We have a lot of cars in here. We have like 29 cars.
Yeah, last season here had, I believe, 32, not mistaken. Most we've had this season, at least enter the race, is 45, 46, I believe, in Daytona. Only, of course, 35 made the race. So, of course, 35 make this race, as always, for the Grand National Series. Tracks like Charlotte, Daytona, this is where we kind of have to keep that in mind. I mean, we sometimes get close in a lot of other places, but tracks like Charlotte and Daytona, we usually go over that limit. So we'll see if that happens tonight. Of course, top 12. Now, after didn't happen in Daytona, this is the first race of the season. Top 12 now are on points for the Grand National Series are all locked in. I can run you through those drivers real quick. Don't have to worry about qualifying their way in if we do get to that point. Christian Herklotz, Ethan McMillan, Jake Marino, Cole Clausen, Knox Thompson, Brody Webster, Richard Cheery, Cole Wilson, Jeremiah Guntley, Aiden Slightum, William Franklin, and Jacob Malone are all good. Ready to go no matter what happens here. 2 running the bottom of the racetrack. Got fellow Cup Series regular Sean Rowe on the outside. Looking at Cup regulars right now, you have Rowe in the best one, I believe, in 6th, Chandler in 8th. Then you look back, Landon Johnson, P13 currently. Gary Smith is 17th. He's 18th. Oh, now Sean Rowe going to wreck down the front straightaway. Hard on the wall he goes. 8 holes, by the way, is 14th. Talking about Cup Series regulars. About 7 minutes remain in this warm-up session here in Charlotte. Alright. iRacing is all of a sudden really slow again. Bear with us. Not exactly sure what's going on. Always updates, always issues with the new updates, no matter what, I feel like. Unfortunately. Fortunately, we got to reload the session again because iRacing can't. I don't really know. Just can't work apparently. So we'll be back here. Qualifying coming up next, of course. 2 laps of qualifying here at Charlotte Motor Speedway. As always, for the Grand National Series, setting the lineup for this 134-lap race tonight in Charlotte for the Grand National Series, race number 9 of the year. Of course, looking at, of course, obviously, full season points this season. There are 14 races to go heading into Charlotte. So we will see. Championship battle, obviously, we're not even halfway through the year technically. But the championship battle definitely is a thing to look at, even coming into race number 9 of the year. I mean, that's no joke with what Christian Herklotz has right now, an 18-point lead over Ethan McMillan. And Herklotz has been probably one of the most consistent drivers all season long. That's how he's gotten himself in that points position. Of course, doesn't have a win this year yet. Probably would be coming, I would expect, and maybe one tonight here at Charlotte. Currently sitting, check real quick. Just came back in here. Christian Herklotz on the board right now. Currently sits 5th. All right, we're back again. Should be okay, I think, hopefully. Swear to God. 5 minutes to go in this warm-up session here in Charlotte. Around goes Eli Tomlin for the time being again. Okay, I don't understand what iRacing's doing, sorry. The frame drop is abysmal. All of a sudden for no reason. We have somebody here in the infield. All right.
I'm gonna go play in the infield.
Yeah, nice try. You gotta get practice.
I'm 13th on the board. That's pretty good for me.
Here's Ethan McMillan. Talking about your former points leader. It's the first time he's been on the racetrack all day. Not exactly sure what's been going on with Ethan on pit road here before this warm-up session. Or, yeah. During this warm-up session, I should say.
Oh, it's giving me a black flag.
Wonder why.
I'm just going the wrong way.
It's getting ridiculous. iRacing is just not working correctly. So we'll try to get back here in just a second. From Charlotte Motor Speedway. Alrighty, so of course, we have about, what, 31, 32 entries in this race so far tonight at Charlotte for the second mile and a half of the year. Of course, last mile and a half, you saw guys like Cole Wilson, Jacob Malone be strong. That was, of course, a completely different racetrack at Atlanta Motor Speedway. Of course, Legacy Atlanta, that is. So we probably would expect to see more kind of a different approach tonight in a race. So I pray to God iRacing's actually cooperating now. A few minutes left to go here in the session. So 2 minutes to go. Nothing really has changed. I believe the racetrack has just kind of slowed down. So I don't think I would look at what you have on the timing sheets right now as your good baseline for what to expect here in qualifying. Here comes a completely blank car down to 3 and 4. Real quick random update. I don't know if I'll call it an update, just kind of a fun stat. We've actually had a flip here at Charlotte in the last 2 seasons in the Grand National race. Let's hope somebody doesn't make it the third tonight.
Oh, I will.
Let's not. So, our cars taking the roll for some reason. There's the 37 White Youngblood. Not exactly sure what the fuel of the Roble is. The 07 of Chase Modzelski as well. But here we go from Charlotte Motor Speedway. Here's the 4 of Kilbash, or not Kilbastion. Fury Freeze, I'm sorry. 2 Ks that are hard to say. But of course, he heads down his front straightaway. This is, of course, race number 66 all-time in the Grand National Series history. The Cup Series just had their 100th race last week in Dover. They'll have race 101 tomorrow night in the Charlotte 600. It's the 5th Cup Series Charlotte 600 tomorrow. Pre-race coverage actually starts at 7:30 p.m. Eastern Time for tomorrow night's race. One of our crown jewel events. This is actually one of the bigger events also for the Grand National Series here in Charlotte tonight. Just behind Daytona. All right, practice is winding down here in America's home for racing, the Charlotte Motor Speedway. A lot of cars have gotten track time. Put down some good laps here. Get set for qualifying here in Charlotte. Time to see who's going to be sitting on pole for tonight's race. Of course, completely unknown with this new aero package, so we're going to have to see how much qualifying actually matters here in this race tonight. Should be relatively interesting, I would say. All right, we are ready to go here for qualifying. So don't really look at what you saw in practice as what you're going to see in the actual race or qualifying here. Because of the track time slowing down. But here we go. 2 laps, 5 minutes to put down a time for pole. Fastest driver is on pole position here in Charlotte. And here we go. Carlos Ortiz there, your points leader. The 00 of Christian Herklotz. He also got that 37 there of Wyatt Young with the 48 of Knox Thompson as well coming onto the racetrack. You've got Cole Clausen there on pit road, the 94 of CJ Urban. There's the 3 of Kyron Wilson. Here comes Gary Smith on the racetrack as well. In that 5 machine. All right. Cars now rolling on here, so you're going to have to get a good warm-up lap and then come into green. We will see what happens. Here we go. Qualifying underway in Charlotte for the Grand National Series. And down the front straightaways first, George Carey-Freeds in the 4 car. The line is way down into 1 and 2. Ahead of him, there's the 42 Aiden Holes full-time Cup Series regular. I believe he might be filling in for Jeremiah Gauntler. Actually, no, Gauntler's on the racetrack. I don't know why he's running that paint scheme then. Eli Tallman down the back straightaway. Here's Carey-Freeds once again making his way through 3 and 4. Holes, there's the 06 of Ortega. No, not anymore. There's the 07 of Modzelski down the front stretch to the line as well. through 1 and 2. White, Youngblood so far top of the board. Thompson second, third for Modzelski. I'm very interested to see if we'll see improvements on lap 2. You see 5th place for Carlos Ortiz. Here comes Cole Clausen to the line. Clausen's third on lap 1. Your points leader Herklotz actually crashed in on his warm-up lap, so I believe he's going to be able to go back on the racetrack here. So a ton of cars. You have to put down times. Nolan Crane is second. Modzelski, is fourth. Here comes the 5. Gary Smith was 10th on lap 1. This could be the improvement lap. We'll see. Yes, it is. Up the third. Yeah, so we do see improvements on lap 2.
Top of the board.
So Cole Clausen now on provisional pole in Charlotte. What a lap at the 71. But still a ton of cars yet to put down times. Here comes Cup Series regular CJ Erdman down into the 3 and 4. Also got Kiri Freeds down on the inside as well. The 35, that is Gatlin Downey. Clover Shepard there in the 21 as well. And here's the driver that was fastest in practice, but can't really base too much off of that. The 17 of Maddox Beard. Oh, he's loose down the 3 and 4. So still, though, Cole Clausen on provisional pole. There comes Jacob Clarino, a pole sitter at Fontana this season, also a winner at Rockingham. What a year he's had. Jacob Malone as well. A lot of heavy hitters to go. Rojan Koch in the 27, Richard Cherry in the 31. Ethan Sanchez now down the front straight to win the 23 car. To the line he goes, I believe, start his lap. Herklotz, top of the board! Your pole sitter goes back on provisional pole. Or your points leader, I should say.
Points leader?
Yes. What a lap by the 00. Also got Sean Rowe, Cole Wilson, still a lot of heavy hitters left to go here. CJ Erdman down the front stretch, he goes. Urban is, I'm blind, I can't see where he is. Don't think it updated. Maddox Beard was 21st on lap 1. The driver fastest practice. Sherry is third. But still, it's Herklotz, top of the board. Here comes Maddox Beard to the line. Was last on lap number 1,
it's
lap
not
number
game.
2. So that's nothing. He's going to be starting not last, but 23rd so far.
That is a big drop off from practice.
I know. Oh, Clarino's loose down the 1 and 2. Cheery finishes lap time 3rd. Here comes Rojan Koch. Also got Aiden Holes across the line. Cole Wilson was 4th on his first lap. We also got Cameron Chandler on the racetrack. 42 seconds to go. Can anyone knock off Chris Durkle? Chandler spins!
Oosh.
Gets loose. That'll kill his lap time. I don't believe Cameron had a lap put down yet. No, Cameron Chandler going to be starting the back tonight. Here comes Cole Wilson off turn 4 for the final time. Down the front straightaway to believe it. Finishes final lap. What is it going to be for the driver of the 22 car? Actually, I think he was done anyways. All right. I think he was already done. I'm sorry. Sean Rowe backs it down. Sean Rowe is 6th. But that will do it. Nobody else going faster here. That will mean Christian Herklotz going to be on pole here in Charlotte. What a lap of the 00 car. Incredible. Cole Clausen will be starting to his outside. It's the longest race of the Grand National Series season, and we are live in Charlotte. Welcome to the America's Home for Racing, our home in the NASCAR iRacing FedEx League and all throughout NASCAR. It is Charlotte Motor Speedway in Concord, North Carolina for race number 9, the season number 5 Grand National Series season. Let's go over your starting grid. On pole, Christian Herklotz for Questionable Motorsports. Good lap time by your pole sitter. To his points leader. To his outside will be Phoenix winner this season, Cole Clausen. So close for Richard Cherry to win last week in Dover. Didn't get it done there. Will qualify 3rd. Cole Wilson needs a bounce back race. He's 4th. White Youngblood going to be starting in 5th tonight. You got Sean Rowe starting 6th. Jacob Malone, ETR driver, starting in 7th. You got a good starting spot for the 60 of Nolan Crane in 8th. Winner in Rockingham this season, Jacob Clarino, will start in 9th, and Gary Smith will round out your top 10 here from Charlotte Motor Speedway tonight. 32 cars ready to get racing in Charlotte. course. Race distance for tonight, 134 laps, 201 miles. Landon, what's the fuel window looking like right now, real quick?
So sitting on pit road right now, we got about 56 laps on the dot.
So that's not even, yeah, you'd have to make, what, 2 pit stops, I think that is, yeah. So, if this thing ran completely green, we would see 2 green flag pit stops for your leaders. Cars here on pit road all the way back to the last place car. Landon Fish returning to the Grand National Series tonight. He'll start 32nd. Only one other attempt this season. He DNQ'd from Daytona. And here we go. Just about ready to go racing for the Grand National Series at Charlotte Motor Speedway. 134 laps, 201 miles. It's our longest race of the season, this one, to honor America and our fallen military. Of course, we'll do
I don't know, two pit stops might be stretching it. Like, my math I just did, it's like 112 laps on 2 stops if you get a full tank.
We'll have to see how this goes tonight. Of course, a lot more ceremonies tomorrow night, pre-race and whatnot. Also going to have a moment of silence in the middle of the race, but you'll see a ton of patriotic paint schemes here on the racetrack tonight. Most of the field, maybe like 80% of it, are running patriotic paint schemes, including your front row. Christian Herklotz and Cole Clausen. Tradition here during the Charlotte 600 weekend. Even though this is technically Memorial Day in real life, we're in the middle of March, we're still going to be doing this to honor our fallen veterans and military here on what usually is Veterans Day. Herklotz, like we said, your points leader by 18 points over Ethan McMillan entering this race. McMillan going to be starting in 17th tonight. Herklotz, a very good start for him. This could be a good opportunity for maybe his first career win. He's been growing so much over the last 2 seasons as a Grand National driver, as they will come just check pit road speed this time by and check their pit boxes as well. Or on pit road, that's the 00. I believe that's Hunsaker. He's officiating tonight. As they will roll the pit road speed and through the boxes they go. This one will be under the lights pretty shortly, as well as always here at Charlotte Motor Speedway in this race. It's the longest Grand National Series race of the season, and this one to honor America. A lot of patriotic paint schemes on the racetrack, red, white, and blue. And 32 drivers going to set their eyes on a Grand National Series win in Charlotte. Will we see regular winning this race? The top 5 drivers, all Grand National Series regular. First Cup driver, Sean Rowe in 6th. And he's the only one, besides Gary Smith, who actually didn't get to the grid inside of the top 10. So Grand National drivers, good start in qualifying. But will the Cup drivers come like they have a lot of times this season? Cup drivers, of course, have won 6 of the 8 races this year already. But here we go from the Charlotte Motor Speedway. Christian Herklotz going to be starting on pole in the 00 car, your Grand National Series points leader. To his outside, Phoenix winner this year, Cole Clausen. For these Grand National guys, it's an endurance race tonight. 134 laps, the longest mileage race they will run all season. The pace car is in. The longest Grand National race of the season from Concord, North Carolina. Charlotte Motor Speedway is green and underway. Here we go. Oh, loose already in the bottom. Sean Rowe there in that 20 car. Cole Clausen in the 71 as they will head down the back straight away for the opening time. What a restart by the 22 car there of Cole Clausen Cole Wilson to the lead. He goes already side by side, cheering to the inside of Rowe, who's falling back in the outside lane. A terrible start for that 00 of Herklotz. He is already back to 7th as they head down the front straightaway. Cole Wilson already a big lead. He is going to lead lap 1. Back at a 1 and 2 they go on lap number 2 in Charlotte. Wilson already got a 0.4 of a second lead. Rocketing their way down the back Here comes Cole Clausen down to the inside there. Wyatt Youngblood will start again for that 37 car. Battle for third. It's to the outside. Youngblood goes on Cherry. We saw that 37 car, though, last week. Burned up the stuff early in the run in Dover. Got to be careful that doing that same thing today. Who had a terrible restart was the double zero of Herklotz in the initial start of this race. Started from pole, back to 7th already on lap 3. Not at all what he wanted to do early on in this race. Ethan Sanchez, I think, went to the grass early on. He already needs a lap down. Oh, contact in the wall, and spinning is Richard Cherry and Cole Clausen. They both save it. We stay green, but that 31 car has damage. Man, what a save by Cherry and Clausen. Unbelievable. They nearly get together again. Wow. That could have been detrimental at the front of the field. Everybody, though, hangs on to their race cars. Thank God. And we got a battle for the lead all of a sudden. Wyatt Youngblood on the back bumper of Cole Wilson for the top spot in Charlotte. Cherry going to fall back to 25th place, and he has damage on that 31 machine. We come to lap 5. Side by side down the front straightaway between Erdman and Gauntly in that 29 car. Gauntly in the 29 will pass him and clear for 8th. Looking more towards the front of the field. Here comes Youngblood to the inside of Clausen for the race lead already. Side by side, back through 3 and 4. And Wyatt Youngblood going to lead in Charlotte. Passes your defending series champion, Cole Wilson, and the lights come on. Of course, track will be continuing to change all night long. Wilson, though, fighting back to the inside again for the lead. Youngblood blocks him off. I think that 37 car, though, burning up the stuff a little bit. See Jacob Malone also up to 3rd. These Fords are coming. And they are fast, already trying to get the first 2 spots inside of the top 2. Malone in that Ford Mustang for 3rd. 3rd place right now for 2nd on Cole Wilson. First side-by-side battle is Seizure to the inside of Chase Mazelski for 9th. And you kind of got a mess back here. See Cole Clausen, who of course got completely loose, fell all the way back now to 14th. Battle towards the front of the field, though, as we look up. Oh my God. As we look up front, there is Cole Wilson in the 22 car with in 2nd. Jake Malone there in 3rd. Still early days from the Charlotte Motor Speedway. We come to lap number 8. Top 6 cars under a blanket here. We got 29 Gauntly. Get back here. There's the 10 of Carlos Ortiz. Not the greatest start for the driver of the 10 car. Ortiz currently runs at 21st. You got Roshan Cook there, 22nd place. Cameron Chandler, watch out for him driving his way through the field. Had to start in the back after a crash in qualifying. He's already up to 18. You see Kyler Wilson to the inside of 2nd place driver in points, Ethan McMillan. Up front, the lead is actually starting to close up again between Wilson, another one. There is side-by-side battle. There's the 60 of Nolan Crane to the outside, and then Wilson and Youngblood battling for the lead side-by-side. That 22 car back to the inside. You see Malone all the way to the wall. Sean Rowe on the bottom. Malone's got a big run coming down this front straightaway. Where's he going to take it? He'll go middle of 3 wide. What a move by that 66 car. 3 wide for the lead. Heading back into 1 and 2 is Charlotte. On the outside, but that's 37 of Youngblood. He will clear back to maybe 3rd, side by side now with Sean Rowe and Jacob Malone. Run. He's going to be clear. Cole Wilson, new leader in Charlotte. We got side by side contact between that 37 and the 22. What a battle for the lead in Charlotte. Big run around the outside again for that 20 car of Sean Rowe. Rowe got a little bit tight heading to the corner as they go back into 1 and 2. I talked about it. Youngblood burns up his stuff pretty early on in these runs, and we're seeing it right now. Side by side, Cole Wilson back to his inside for 2nd, but Rowe going to give him that 37 car, bit of a shove. He's nearly going to get clear on Wilson. Wilson, though, back to his quarter panel. You see Christian Herklotz, your pole sitter, back into the battle, almost 3 wide again, down the front stretch. As they head through the quad oval, once again down through 1 and 2. 3 wide. You see Sean Rowe in the middle. That 37 Youngblood falls back in the outside lane. This is just allowing your leader, Malone, to pull away. Still so early on in this race. Surprised they're racing this aggressively. Rowe for second place. Looking to make it an ETR 1-2, and he will do just that maybe. See that 22 Wilson back to his inside, but cannot stay there. Sean Rowe to second place as Malone now leads here at Charlotte Motor Speedway on lap 13. See that 22 Wilson looking to get some momentum around the outside, but a little further back in the pack. He got what a great start with the 90 Eli Tomlin inside of the top 10 already. He's ripping the boards. Side-by-side contact with Gauntly. Knox Thompson there to the inside of Wyatt Youngblood down the front straightaway. Battle for 5th place currently here. Of course, Youngblood, like I said, burning up his stuff early on in this race. Not something you want to do at all. Through the pack there is, of course, Thompson completing the pass. Youngblood was just battling for the lead, actually took the lead for a couple of laps, and now he's back to 6th in the exact same run, similar to what we saw with him last week in Dover. Still trying to work in that 48 of Thompson. A little tight there in the wall as well. Looking a little further back, Tomlin to the outside there for 9th, maybe even 8th on Chase Modzelski. Modzelski, another driver, having a good start. You see Clarina there now inside of the top 10 as well. And Cameron Chandler, by the way, up to 14th place. For second place battle, side by side, Cole Wilson to the inside of Sean Rowe. Wilson, that 22, will drive it deep, back at a 1 and 2 on the bottom of the racetrack. And he is clear on that 20 cone. No, maybe not yet. Rowe back around the outside lane. Still, though, even with each other, of course, new side drafting model with these Grand National Series cars was updated yesterday, so we'll see a battle going on for an example right here. They were able to stay side by side down the front straightaway. And now look at Christian Herklotz into the battle as well. They are, though, slowing each other down a lot more than what they would usually do side by side. As you can see, Herklotz joining the battle. That's proof of that right there. And they're also losing a lot of time to Jacob Malone. Still door-to-door for second as they head down the back straightaway. Where will Herklotz go? Will he try to make it 3 wide early in the race? Wilson, the bottom of the racetrack on Sean Rowe there yet again. Now this is allowing about a second lead for Malone. A good run around the top lane, and Rowe is clear on Cole Wilson yet again. You saw how that brought Herklotz to the battle, and they lost time to your leader, Jacob Malone, as well. That's what the new side draft model has been doing. Eli Tomlin, what a start by this 90 car, already up to 8th. Oh, in the wall, crashing down the back straightaway. Around goes Maddox Beard. In the wall, hits it from the back. I believe we will probably stay green. He's out of the way enough, I think. He's backing up here, and we should be able to stay green going. No caution. That's the first wreck of the day. Maddox Beard goes around. If we look towards more of the front of the field, we got the 00 of Christian Herklotz on the bumper of that 22 of Cole Wilson. And here comes Knox Thompson to the inside as well on that 00 of Herklotz. Coming to lap 20 this time by in Charlotte. 4-way battle for second place in Malone, already a 1-second lead out front. Oh, Wilson has Christian Herklotz trying to move his way to the inside. He will stay in line. Once again, Wilson, like we said, needs probably a win tonight to stay in any sort of good point situation. Enters this race 8th in the points as your defending series champion in the Grand National Series, so definitely looking for a lot more today. Running 3rd is a good start, but needs more. Malone, another one. He would love to win this race. It would be an absolutely perfect win for him. he would love a max points day as well. Of course, no stage points in Grand National, no halfway break, and especially for this 134 lap race, that should make things very interesting. Speaking of all this, Landon, what's the fuel window looking like right now, 21 laps in?
30, basically 40 laps.
So we probably would see the fuel window open about maybe 30 to 35. Going to be interested to see how tire wear plays into effect in this race, this new model of these Grand National Series cars. See a little bit further back, Cameron Chandler already inside of P11 now to the bumper of Jacob Florino. He goes. That is his teammate for 10. Florino with the wall. He has a little bit of damage, I believe. Yes, he does on the quarter panel. And Cameron Chandler now, after starting outside of the top 20, already in lap 23, inside of the top 10. Of course, he's full-time Cup regular. He is one of the best in the league. Having a phenomenal start so far tonight. There he is side by side now with Modzelski for 9th. Corridor back through turns 3 and 4 on the bottom of the racetrack he goes. Sun continues to set even more here at Charlotte Motor Speedway, and these track conditions are going to be changing all night long. Side by side for second place for a minute. There's Cole Wilson with a run around the outside on Sean Rowe in the 20. He's going to work his way down to the bottom of the racetrack, door to door for P2. Wilson trying to take second place and back away from Rowe, and he will do just that. Cole Wilson, the second, will try to run down your leader, Jacob Malone, who still now has a, Black Carmatic Spirit in the way, has a 1.3 second lead over the 22 car. That 22 Bucky's machine not really gaining a ton on Malone so far. You see Herkloss and that 00, he was up the racetrack as well. There's Knox Thompson, the 48 car. And Eli Talman, like I said, what a start so far. He is now clear to 7th place. He's just ripping these boards. Definitely not tire saving whatsoever. And also Cameron Chandler up to P9 as well behind him. A little bit through until he got side by side between Gatlin Downey and Kyron Wilson for 13th. Door to door ahead of them. There is the 00 of Herklots to the inside of Sean Rowe. Contact between these two 3rd and 4th place cars. Yeah, they got together and made even more contact there. That could have sent one of them into the wall. Luckily, they both continue on. Herklots started on pole, fell back to 7th on lap 1. Now working his way up inside of the top 3 again. And Rowe is back clear on to 3rd place. This has been a very good start to the race, though, for Grand National Series regulars. Out of the top 6, 5 of them are regulars in the Grand National Series. The only one that isn't, of course, is Sean Rowe. And Cole Wilson starting to run down Jacob Malone for the race lead. P6 now. As Youngblood is getting passed down the front straightaway, he's back to 8th. You got Cameron Chandler also coming down the back. Got Cole Clausen, of course, he had that really loose moment, looking to maybe get back inside of the top 11. Battle for the 11th with Chase Modzelski. And he's got that spot. Side by side back on a 1 and 2. Youngblood at the bottom of CJ Urban in the 94 car. So he will drop back in line. But there is Chandler back to the bottom of the racetrack. He goes. Cameron Chandler now up to 8th. Around White Youngblood. Lap 30 underway in Charlotte, and we had a battle back to the inside. Youngblood there on Cameron Chandler. Mostly single file throughout the top 10 positions here. And there's Chandler Now to the inside on CJ Erdman, a fellow Cup Series driver here for what is 7th place. Door to door, even with each other, down this front straightaway through the one of the more unique quad ovals here at Charlotte Motor Speedway. You also get the AstroTurf in the middle of the infield that doesn't tear up these splitters like other tracks do. Cameron Chandler clear on Erdman. That's P7. What a rocket ship start out of that 8 car, and we got a battle starting to heat up for the race lead. Malone stuck in a bit of traffic here with the 17 of Maddox Beard, who of course had that bit of a wreck. He did not bring out a caution on the back straightaway. This allowed Cole Wilson to close that gap up. You see Malone in line with that 17 car, move his way to the inside to go to put him a lap down. Got a car slow in the bottom. That's Ethan oh, not Landon Fish in the 72 car, running a very similar paint scheme to McMillan, and I believe he might be pulling over. Unfortunate turn here for Landon Fish, but the battle for the lead has just heated up. Here comes Cole Wilson on Malone. So Wilson, of course, has rapidly caught Jacob Malone for the race lead here. And these two, of course, former Grand National winners. Malone won at Miami, by the way, last season when Cole Wilson got his championship here in the Grand National Series. Not the best of friends on and off the racetrack. And Wilson, an aggressive move down to the inside lane. That was nearly a disaster. My goodness. Well, he had to check up quickly there. Malone was not expecting that. Wilson, though, going to have a run down this front straightaway. Malone goes defensively, probably defensively back into 1 and 2 as well. You see Wilson running the outside lane. Malone there wrapping the bottom line. I think you're going to see momentum coming, though, down the back straightaway for that 22 car. Cole Wilson, there he is to the inside. Door to door for the race lead. On lap 34. Wilson to the bottom of Malone. Side by side, back through turns 3 and 4. He is now clear. No, he's not. Malone back to the outside. This is maybe going to allow Sean Rhoda to try to close the gap back up. Oh, Malone nearly in the wall on the outside lane, but he's going to have momentum coming. But Wilson going to try to put a slide on him. Cannot do it. Here comes Malone back to the outside again. But Wilson drives it super deep into the corner. I believe Malone might have just given up there. Actually, no, Wilson's going to be sliding back up the racetrack, but he is clear for the race lead. He got tight, though, nearly into the wall. Malone's got another run coming down the front. Great battles throughout the pack right now in Charlotte on lap 36.
Kind of surprised we've had a long run to start the race.
I mean, I'm not really, as we see that they lapped George Kieran, who's way off the pace, 25th. There's Herklotz running in 4th. Cameron Chandler has just broken it inside of the top 5, by the way. That 8 car is coming. So watch out. He could be there in a matter of time at the front of the field right now. That 17 car Maddox Beer definitely isn't slow. Kiri Cruz is way off the pace, but as we see the leaders once again down the back straightaway and back into 3 and 4. Now Cole Wilson has put about a half second on Jacob Malone. See Chandler down to the inside of the wall goes that lap car Kiri Freeds. Tomlin still running in P6, even doing a good job managing his tires. He is having a great race so far. See Richard Cherry trying to break inside of the top 10. This is a battle, I believe, for 11th place with Cole Clausen side by side. Cherry, of course, nearly slammed the wall with Cole Clausen earlier in the race. Now he's going to look to pass him. These two have been both driving their way through the fields. Clausen, of course, had the better track position after that bit of a slide from those two. Now Cherry looking to take P11 to the bottom of the racetrack. He goes back into 3 and 4. And for Cherry, to 11th place he goes here in Charlotte. Youngville there barely holding on inside of the top 10 after battling for the lead early on in this race. You see Jacob Luna there running at 9th, Knox Thompson 8th, Urban 7th. Great run for Tomlin so far, 6th. And here we go, Cameron Chandler up to P5. Let's put Maddox Spear there a lap down. Once again, though, Cole Wilson heads down the front straightaway in that 22 machine. Of course, Bucky's on the race car this weekend, ran this paint scheme a lot last year. Of course, his patriotic car, ran it for the 4th of July, also the Charlotte race in the Grand National Series last season. I don't think it's had too much success, unfortunately, for Cole Wilson, but he looks to maybe change that tonight. Possibly his first win of the season.
Thank you.
Car coming out pit road. We got ready at the first one hitting. I said he was burning up his stuff. I think we see just that there with the 90 of Eli Tomlin. And he did the first one on pit road.
Yeah, I feel like it's still at least 12 laps early. I feel like 52 to like 55 will be like the sweet spot. Maybe a little later than that.
And so here comes that 90 on pit road. There's that 10 of the T's still staying out. And down the front straightaway is that 37 of Youngblood once more. All right, anyways, on lap 42, we see now about a 1.1 second lead for Jacob Malone. So pretty early, not really sure what we're looking at there, iRacing. Pretty early pit stop out of that 66 car. We have also George Freed's getting service here. He was pretty slow. Anyways. Well, still early on in this race, Joseph Lewis, also another one on the pace, down in 22nd. He's got your leader, Cole Wilson, coming on his bumper. Been a caution-free all race long so far in Charlotte. Coming to lap 44 this time by. Cole Wilson has been out in front for the last about 7 or so laps. Jake Malone led a lot of laps earlier on. Now he's got his teammate Sean Rowe from the Cup Series looking to battle for second. Christian Herglott's your pole sitter, your points leader there in 4th. And Cameron Chandler has broken inside of the top 5. And they've got a couple of second lead there over Siege Airman in P6. And how about Rich Terry as well, another one in P8. And Cole Clausen, he's broken his way inside of the top 10. And we're going to see right now what fresh tires do with the 90 there of Eli Tomlin. He just draw. Yeah, look at these fresh tires. They make a lot of a difference here in Charlotte. We have about a 40-lap run on them. Look at the pace he's got. Tomlin down the front straightaway on those fresh tires, just looking to unlap himself here. Also, Knox Thompson, by the way, just came down pit road in the 48. He was running inside of the top 10 into the wall. Goes Joseph Lewis. He's off the pace. Battle for second now going on. Here comes Sean Rowe to the inside of Jacob Malone. Side by side, back through 3 and 4 for P2, and now you got Rowe coming. Kind of faked out his teammate there. He comes to pit road again to make sure you don't speed. Another ETR coming. That's the 28 of Joseph Lewis and Siege Airman. So pit window obviously now open for the first time tonight on lap 45 in Charlotte. And Sean Rowe coming to pit road in the 20. So probably tires starting to give up now for some of these guys. Going to be in a good fuel position as well. We're going to see what this undercut does for Sean Rowe. That's something we got to watch as your leaders continue to stay out. At least the rest of them do. There's, of course, Malone staying out, but Cole Clausen, not mistaken, no, that's Nolan Crane actually pitting in the 60. All right, so also got that 71 of Cole Clausen. There he comes to pit road. You also have Ethan McMillan, Cole Clausen's teammate in the 70 from MNF Racing. The third car, Landon Fish, for some reason on in the garage. There's the 07 of Chase Monzelski, another Mustang to pit road. So a lot of your leaders starting to come here. And Cameron Chandler just passed Christian Herklotz. He is on absolute flying through the field right now and has on the bumper of Malone for what is now second. What a start by this A car. No caution to even help him out. We got fresh tires coming for Tom, and look at him go to the inside. Tomlin currently would be cycled to the lead right now. That's just how much these tires have meant for that 90 car. Of course, in the longer run, that won't matter too much. Malone continues to stay out. So does Wilson, who is now as a 6-second lead over Chandler and Malone. There's the 22 of Wilson. Here we go, side by side, back into 1 and 2 between Malone and Chandler. And Cameron Chandler will be clear on Jacob Malone for 2nd place. I want to see if Wilson's going to pit this time by in that 22 car. Look at the pace difference. My goodness, it is monumental. And here comes your leader, Cole Wilson, on pit road. Got to make sure you don't speed or hit the pit barrels like he did last week. And that looks pretty dangerous getting to pit road there. I'm not really sure if he got the speed. Hopefully he did. And that 22 car making service for the first time tonight.
89 pitting.
Chandler will stay out. Said we heard on the radio there. Here comes Landon Johnson down pit road. So cycled now to the lead is that 8 car of Cameron Chandler. And just look at Sean Rowe going to unlap himself here. I mean, this is going to be a huge undercut for some of these guys. But oh, caution is out in the middle of green flag pit stops for the first time tonight on lap 50. Wow.
You gotta be kidding me.
That changes everything. Okay, what? I don't even know what the reason for the yellow is. What happened? I have no clue. I'm looking around the racetrack. I don't really know. What was the caution for? Absolutely no idea. All right, we're going to try to look real quick to see what brought out this first yellow of the night. I have no idea. All right. I mean, I'm looking around the racetrack right now. I don't see anything. It might have been actually Erdman. No. I have no idea who it was, by the way. Oh, actually, there we go. This should not have been a caution. Absolutely ridiculous that this was a yellow. I'm not really sure. So there's Jeremiah Gauntlet. Hit the apron, gets loose on the bottom, and saves it out of harm's way. That is a terribly called caution. Absolutely terrible. So this is going to completely mess up green flag pit cycles now. We've got cars coming down pit road. Here comes Cameron Chandler. So guys like Wilson going to have to stay out. So is Sean Rowe. Eli Tomlin as well to get their laps back. And also not be down a set of tires. But we're going to have to see how this all goes. First caution of the day in the middle of green flag pit stops on lap 52 here in Charlotte. Actually, Wilson and Tomlin unlapped themselves here, so they will actually cycle to the lead. Luckily for them, off pit road first is going to be the 66 of Malone. Second will be Herklots. Third will be Chandler. Chandler lost a couple of spots there. And others as well. There comes actually Sean Rose pitting again. Rowe got his lap back. So under the first caution of the night, though, middle of green flag pit stop, so kind of makes things interesting now. I believe we will come to the choose this time by. So on lap 52 here at Charlotte Motor Speedway, you see what? Knox Thompson, Urban, Youngblood, the 23 of Sanchez, Cole Clausen, Landon Johnson, Gauntlet, Gary Freeze. They're all going to get their laps back here. Currently being scored your leader is Eli Tomlin. He had an incredible first 50 laps of this race, so he's definitely not down on pace or anything, but a little bit older the tires. And Tomlin will choose the outside lane. Cole Wilson to go to the inside. Just Lewis, he's a lap car right now. As they try to get in line and choose behind them. All right, so there's all of your lap down cars getting their laps back from the waiver rounds. Lewis, I'm not really sure what he's doing on the outside lane in the 28 car. He should, yeah, there he goes. He will get his lap back. It'll actually be now 2 laps down. McMillan, by the way, is 6 laps down. I don't know what just happened to Ethan McMillan.
I don't know. He was running like 2 spots better than me, and I didn't see anything happen.
I have no clue. I want to look on pit road real quick. That's Landon Fish. There's Ethan McMillan. He has damage, by the way. I don't really know when that happened. Must have hit the wall or something. That is not good at all for his points. Wow.
Could have had another pit barrel incident.
I don't think so. It doesn't look like that kind of damage. The car would have been absolutely destroyed if that was the case. But ready for the restart on lap 54 in Charlotte. First caution of the day. Going to be the first official restart of the day as well. What can older tires on the outside with Tomlin do? Not too older tires for Wilson on the bottom. We'll see what Eli Tomlin can do at the front of the field here. A lot of cars tail into the longest line. And here we go for the restart. Going to be on lap 54 at Charlotte Motor Speedway as we head back to green. Good restart actually by that 90 of Tomlin, all things considered. With Cole Wilson there back on the bottoms, they will head back into 1 and 2. Side by side between these top two drivers. Almost a little bit of contact down the back straightaway. Door to door, even with each other back into 3 and 4. See Malone back there in third. Wilson on the bottom will clear Tomlin for the race lead. Cole Wilson back out front here at Charlotte. Malone there in third. Battle for fourth starting to heat up between Chandler and that 00 of Herklotz. Oh, Chandler, big moment, back into 1 and 2. He lost the rear end of that race car. You see the 27 of Rojan Koch. What a restart he had, up to 7th place. He got Cherry there in the 31, and that 33 of Jacob Clarino running in 6th. Sean Rowe back in 9th. And Cole Wilson, though, continues to lead. Battle for second starting to heat up between Tomlin and Malone. Here comes Malone to the inside of that 90 car. Side by side down the front straightaway. Door for the race lead as they head down the back straightaway side by side. Of course, Malone on a little bit fresher tires than that 90 car of Tomlin. Still actually having a difficult time passing him. Now he's clear. Tomlin, I think, just let him go. So Landon, real quick, if you're not in any sort of battle, what's the fuel window now look like?
Hang on, I'm trying to get that around a lap car.
All right, that's fine.
54.
So, yeah, they would have to pit again. That would be the final pit stop of the night, though. And now, here is Herklotz to the inside of Tomlin as well. Cameron Chandler on the bottom in that 8 car. He's clear. Here's Sean Rowe to the inside of Richard Cherry for 7th. Cherry, of course, had a great start to the race, then unfortunately got loose to the bottom with Cole Clausen, which set him in the wall. Got that damage repaired from the looks of it, and now is battling inside of the top 10 again. Got Carlos Ortiz up in the outside of the lane. Sean Rowe was just inside of the top 5. Pit cycles definitely did not help him that day. Battle for second. Look at the 00 Herklotz. What a run around the outside on Malone. Also, Malone losing another spot to Chandler. 66 car all of a sudden fell off the pace, and he's back to 4th. Now here's Eli Tomlin in 5th place. Not really sure what's going on with that 66 of Jacob Malone. See Richard Cherry here down the front straightaway. Car loose. That was Wyatt Youngblood in the 37 car. Currently runs 14th. Carlos Ortiz all over the back bumper of Jacob Clarino. Sean Rowe currently running in 8th. Richard Cherry runs in 9th. There is that 10 car up the racetrack back through 3 and 4. And going to be side by side with Clarino down the front straightaway. Battle for 6th place. We've seen Ortiz have good speed in this Grand National Series car. Seeing the exact same thing today as they catch their teammate, or his teammate, Ortiz's teammate, the 90 car of Eli Tomlin. .60 laps complete at Charlotte Motor Speedway for the NASCAR iRacing FedEx Grand National Series so far today. You see Sean Rowe in the wall a little bit. That 90 car of Tomlin falling back 3 wide. In the middle goes Cherry, now almost 4 wide down the back straightaway. Clarino backs out of the battle. You got Aiden Holes with the run down the back straightaway as well in that 42 car. Bit of a mess. Looking from the wider view. Tomlin way up the racetrack. Those older tires not handling too well in that 90 machine. He is back to 9th. Maddox Beard still trapped a lap down in that 17. Actually, 2 laps down to be exact. Tomlin now going to be falling back maybe to 10th, side by side with Aiden Holes. Oh, contact in the wall goes Gatlin Downey, and then 35 car got pushed in the wall by Aiden Holes. Holes looks like he just thought he was clear, but wasn't. As leaders head down the front straightaway yet again. And Herklot just got passed by Cameron Chandler. They're side by side for second place down the back straightaway. Chandler on the inside lane, Herklot's up on the outside. Door to door, once again, heading back into turns 3 and 4. Cameron Chandler there on the bottom. Christian Herklot's up on the outside as well. Side by side.
Off the pace.
Yeah, I don't know what happened to the 20 car. I would take a look at the door to door for P2. Up in the back right now. I don't really see anything. What's going on with Sean Rowe? Hang on, there he is. Sean Rowe, by the way, is pitting. Oh, he's just bringing it to the garage. What happened to Sean Rowe? Man. Not really sure. But Sean Rowe, by the way, brings his car to the garage here in Charlotte for the Grand National Series. Of course, he is full-time in the Cup Series. No points on the line for him today, but just racing for this one for experience. And maybe for a win. That won't happen tonight as Cameron Chandler is clear to P2. Cole Wilson, though, continues to lead this race, coming to halfway this time by. But unfortunately there for Sean Rowe, mechanical issue we're hearing on the 20 car. He will not be able to finish this race. At least for now. I don't know if they're going to bring him to the garage and try to repair that race car. Not really sure what's going to go on.
Oh, somebody's spinning through the infield.
It's Eli Tomlin around in the 90 car. And the caution's out.
Ouch.
For the second time today.
It looked like he maybe wall popped. He just got loose on his own.
Of course, Tomlin stayed out there, had the lead. We'll see what happens. I think it was all on his own there, unfortunately. So on the outside there, yeah, it just gets the wall, and that gets him loose and spins down the front straightaway. So we apparently now do have a halfway break due to this caution flag, because we're now at halfway exactly, and the caution's out for the second time tonight for this incident. That's a pretty interesting stat. All right. Well, there's Cole Wilson, your leader. We would love to go to victory lane tonight. So I'm interested to see, do we expect cars to come down pit road? I'm not really sure.
This car, I can already tell by like this new update. This car is like eating some tires up. My right front's already at 77%.
I mean, yeah, that makes sense. That put 2 and 2 together, you saw the incredible pace the cars that pitted under the green flag cycles had on your lead lap cars. Didn't pit, and that makes a lot of sense. So who's going to come down pit road here? You got 3 sets probably remaining in the pits for most of your leaders. And they are coming. Yes, they are. Here we go on pit road. Will anyone stay out? Someone stays out. That's a lap car. Only the lap cars stay out. All right. Here we go. Leaders all on pit road. Kind of surprising. Now at halfway. They were just on pit road maybe like 15 or 20 laps ago. So I guess just tires mean that much. By the way, Sean Rowe is back on pit road. 20 car, but he might be getting service. For fresh Goodyear tires for your leaders. So I don't know what we're doing here. iRacing off pit road first will be Cole Wilson. I believe 2 tires for Rajon Koch. He'll be off second, 3 wide for third. I think Herklot's got it. Maybe, yeah. I think Malone got 4th. Chandler got 5th. All right, well, we are under our second caution flag of the day for Eli Tomlin going around. This is just over halfway now. So come to the choose this time by. We saw your leader, Tomlin, last time choose the outside lane. Not really sure what we're going to see this time with Cole Wilson. Actually, Clarino and Holes both stayed out. I assume they're lap cars, but they are not. All right, so here we go. Gonna have to choose. Jacob Clarino stays out with Aiden Holes on older tires, so we're gonna see how this goes. Clarino goes the inside, Holes goes outside, Wilson goes outside, kind of surprisingly. Grosjean Cook at the bottom. As they all choose behind them. All right. Not really sure what's going on there with, I think Herklotz was in the wrong place. Now he's in the right place. Oh, actually, Herklotz dropping to the back of the field.
He just got an EOL.
Oh, yeah. That's, I think he ran over the pit box, or the choose box, I mean.
Dude.
Wow, so unfortunate for Christian Herklotz. Unbelievable. He will drop to the rear of the field after starting on pole in this race. Still got some time to claw his way back, but saw Cameron Chandler do it after starting in the rear of the field today. Can Herklotz do it? We'll see. Okay, ready for this restart. Going to be on lap 71. Well over halfway in Charlotte for the Grand National Series. Old tires in the front row with Clarino and Aiden Holes. On the bottom will be Grosjean Cook, who took 2, and Cole Wilson, first car on 4. Green flag back in the air here at Charlotte. A bad restart on the outside lane for Holes. Wilson got loose, and he's got to pull out a line already as they head down the front straightaway on this restart. Side by side. What a restart by Clarino. You got Grosjean Cook up on the outside lane. Cameron Chandler to the bottom, just past that 22 car Wilson. He's got Cherry following in line behind him. And the caution's out. Around goes Joseph Lewis. Pretty unnecessary caution. He was running in last, but okay. Let's see what happened to him. There he is, just lost it on his own. And right, oh man, George Gary Friedson saw that 29 gauntlet get a piece of it. Matt Spirital, I believe, getting free pass to be back on the lead lap here. All right, well, we're right under caution again here in Charlotte. We will be right back from Charlotte Motor Speedway. Welcome back to Charlotte Motor Speedway. Jacob Clarino is bringing his machine to pit road. So is Jacob Malone. That's interesting. Kind of shocked by that strategy here. Grosjean Cook will stay out and retain the lead. Second will be Cameron Chandler. Third, Richard Cherry. Wilson runs fourth. Aiden Holes, Carlos Ortiz, Thomas Thompson, Cole Clausen, CJ Urban, and Sheldon Shepard. Your top 10. And Matt Spears will be back on the lead lap here with the free pass position. So, by the way, again, there we go. Here are your leaders, or some of your leaders on pit road that came down pit road after not pitting earlier. You have 20 car drivers on the lead lap. There's the 90 of Eli Tomlin. honestly surprised Malone pitted though. That's gonna put him now on his 3rd set of tires already. That's, I don't know if he took fuel only actually. I definitely want to double check that because that is important to note here. Might have just been, yes it was just a fuel only stop. All right, so I take it back. Maybe, I don't know if he's gonna be too good here on track position. He'd be restarting in 15th, but maybe good to top up.
It's crazy. Like the first like almost 50 laps we went green, and we've had what, 1 or 2 cautions now.
Yeah, 3rd caution of the day. We are working now on lap 73. All right, coming to the choose here. Restart in lap 75. There is Koch going to choose the inside lane. Chandler goes outside with his teammate Richard Cheering. There's Wilson to the bottom as well, and they're choosing behind them. All right. We're just going back to the car and pit right there. Trying to look at the shoes, unfortunately. Well, here we go once again from Charlotte Motor Speedway. Going to restart on lap 74. So, Landon, has the track kind of changed throughout this race today?
Yeah, I mean, the track temps are pulled off. You can definitely tell there's a lot more grip in the track now. But we haven't had a long run on new tires, so. But there's definitely tire fall off, for sure.
Yeah, so we'll have to see if maybe this could be the final caution of the day. You never know. That would be in a similar run, green flag run that is, to what we had earlier in the race, maybe just a tad longer. But can Rojan Koch do anything on these 2 tires up front? We're going to have Cameron Chandler on the outside lane, Cole Wilson, Richard Cheery teammates lining up in 2nd. Got a lot of CWR cars here inside of the top 5, like we did last week in Dover. All right, ready to come back to the green flag. Rojan Koch on the inside, Cameron Chandler on the outside. Back to the EchoPart Automotive restart zone they go, and back to green at Charlotte Motor Speedway. Bit of a checkup on the inside lane. Rojan Koch had that happen to him, and they're side by side for the lead with Chandler and Koch, door to door, heading back into 1 and 2. Cole Wilson back there in 3rd. Wilson almost pushes Koch. He's going to move to the inside, 3 wide, down the back straightaway for the race lead. What a run. Cameron Chandler around the outside nearly clears them both. But Cole Wilson back at the bottom slides at the inside lane. You see Cheery in that 31 car on the outside as well. It's door to door down the front stretch. What a battle side by side between teammates Cameron Chandler and Cole Wilson. What a big drive, a slide job to the inside. Doesn't work. Crossover move back down low for Cameron Chandler and Cole Wilson. Side by side down the back straightaway they go. Even with each other, side drafting. Wilson tries to pinch that 8 car down there. Chandler having none of it. He's going to stay to his inside to his quarter panel, but no, now he's clear. Cole Wilson retakes the lead impressively. Door to door, look at Carlos Ortiz for a 3rd around Richard Cheery. Great restart out of that 10 car. He's looking like he's got really good pace. It is a mess towards the middle of the pack. You see the 00 Herklotz, of course, after his penalty, made his way inside of the top 11. Actually, there he is on the outside of Rojan Koch. A bit older tires. There of Sanchez is a little bit tight. Jake Malone already, of course, he just stopped for fuel earlier. We know he's a fast car. He's in 15th.
Oh, hold on to it.
That was that 27 of Koch, I believe, getting really loose.
Yes.
And here comes Jacob Malone 3 wide down the front straightaway.
Front.
Malone going to get that spot. He is up to 11th place. Maybe, no, actually Sanchez goes back around the outside to clear him again. Door to door between Aiden Holes and Rojan Koch. And here comes that 66 of Malone to the inside and battle for 2nd place. By the way, side by side, look at Carlos Ortiz to the outside of Cameron Chandler. That 10 car is flying. Chandler gets re-clear on him again, but he's got pace. Ortiz is there.
Someone's wrecking in the back.
They're still green. Not exactly sure what it was.
I just saw smoke in my mirror, though. So.
Well, we stay green here in Charlotte. again, battle for the lead starting to heat up between Chandler and Wilson, but real quick, there is Malone. He's clear to P11 around Ethan Sanchez. Definitely good news for him. Sanchez has had a good day in 12th. You see Cole Clausen there running in 13. Into 71. A little bit more side-by-side action on the field. Here we go. Christian Herklotz around the outside of Chase Modzelski for 9th. Modzelski trying to squeeze him outside, almost contact. He's going to slide up the racetrack. They'll be door-to-door down this backstretch. And Herklotz clear. And for the lead, Carlos Ortiz has now caught Cole Wilson. That 10 car is the real deal up front. He is definitely coming. Only a matter of time before he's on his bumper for the race lead in a minute. See, Chandler's still back there in 3rd. Just got passed by that 10 car. Oh, Ortiz has a massive run coming down this back straightaway. Where is he going to take it? He moves the inside, side by side. Back through turns 3 and 4. Contact! Move him out of the way almost. Here comes Ortiz. Back in the inside lane, door to door for the race lead. Where is that 8 car of Cameron Chandler going to make a move? Side by side, Cole Wilson on the outside gets momentum back around the top. Oh, whoa, he might have to lift here to not crash, and he will do just that. And Carlos Ortiz takes the lead for the first time tonight in Charlotte. What a job well done by that 10 car, but now you gotta manage tires. I don't know if he's been doing that tonight, especially on this run. There is Knox Thompson having a good run in 4th. Eli Tomlin also still inside of the top 5, having a career day. There is Herklotz around the outside, clears that 94 of CJ Erdman. He goes to P7. And they're side by side between, that is Cole Clausen around the outside of 66 and Malone. Malone hasn't really been able to do anything after passing Ethan Sanchez. Clausen has P11. He's got Landon Johnson at the 89, currently running in 13th behind Jacob Malone. Side by side, oh, contact door to door between Herklotz and that is Wyatt Youngblood in the 37 car. This is a battle for 6th. Wyatt's had a good day inside of the top 10 for the majority of it. But Herklotz is going to try to rough him up out of the way. Side by side for P6. There is also that 94 of CJ Erdman in the line as well. Actually going to try to push Herklotz down the front stretch. Christian Herklotz back on the bottom of the racetrack. He is clear on that 37 of Youngblood. Here we go. Around the outside is Cole Wilson on Cameron Chandler for 2nd. Wilson out of the outside for the race lead on Ortiz again. Ooh, Ortiz going to try to block that lane off. He'll do just that. Wilson, though, might have a run coming down this front stretch. Where is he going to take it? To the outside again he goes. Maybe tires already starting to fall off on that 10 car, and he's got Cole Wilson to his outside. Side by side for the lead. Oh, they're making contact again. Wilson up the racetrack in the wall. That's a good shot as well. Where's Cameron Chandler going to go? Stays in line. Still side by side through 3 and 4. Ortiz holding him tough on the bottom. But Cole Wilson trying to do something on that outside lane. Cameron Chandler sitting patiently in 3rd. Knox Thompson joined the battle. Same thing with Eli Tomlin. What a battle for the race lead between these two Chevrolets. Side by side again. Contact again. As they head down the back straightaway. This is a normal mile-and-a-half race. We'd be coming to 12 to go this time by, but still over just about 40 laps to go. 45 to go, I'm sorry. Cole Wilson just...
Oh, they're wrecking.
Down the front straightaway around goes that 41 car. That's the 07 of Modzelski. Cole Clausen also involved in run of the caution for the 4th time today. And Chase Modzelski there in the 07. He has a little bit of damage. We'll see what happens here. Bring out this yellow. So now this is a very interesting time deal. I think they could pit now and maybe make it to the end on fuel. Here is Modzelski. Got Richard Cherry to your inside, Cole Goss on the outside. He's 3 wide middle. Oh, I think he just, I don't know what that was. Slammed that 71 across him to the wall. I think he just lost it all on his own. Not really sure.
He's just ping pong between Cherry and Clausen.
Riding with them. Yeah, hit Cherry and then came back down on Cole Clausen and then lost it. Gets hit by Landon Johnson. Landon, do you have any damage from that?
I don't know. I'm about to find out.
Okay. All right, well, the caution is now out. This is actually lap 90. This is what the mile-and-a-half races for normal Grand National mile-and-a-halves used to be. So it is kind of crazy to where we've come today for the longest race in the Grand National.
Malone, do I have any
history.
damage on the front end?
.45 laps to go in Charlotte still. I would assume we would see your leaders pit. Here we come. Yes, they are. They're coming. Will anyone stay out? Doesn't look like it for now. Maybe Jacob Clarino, who pitted not too long ago. And here are your leaders to pit road. Led by that 22 car of Cole Wilson, has led the most laps tonight. Cole has, and still looking for that first win of the season. Would love to get it done today. Christian Herklotz goes to his #1 pit stall. There's that 31 of Richard Cherry as well. Somebody just blew up. Not really sure who that was. So refresh, go to your tires, packing it full of fuel. This may be your final stop of the night. Here comes the race off pit road. It'll be Cole Wilson first. Second will be Chandler. Third, Ortiz. Fourth, going to be Knox Thompson. Fifth, there's the 90 of Tomlin, and then that 00 of Herklotz will roll off in 6th. All right, the caution is out for time #4 today. Gonley actually stayed out. So did Clarino, who we kind of expected to. So this is going to probably get you very close to making it to the end on fuel.
We have 44 to go. We have, I can make it. We got about 47.5 laps of fuel.
That's still pretty tight. It's about only 2 laps to go here. So
I think as long as we don't have overtime, we'll be fine.
all right, coming to the juice cone here. Oh, actually, Clarino is pitting from second. Kind of surprising. Gauntly will stay out and hold the lead. Wilson will now be second as we enter the shoes. Gauntly will go to the bottom. Wilson will go to the outside here. Chandler out inside. Ortiz outside. All right, so should be an interesting restart here. They're going to be pretty good on fuel, maybe a few laps to the good here. After all your leaders, besides Jeremiah Gauntly, he's probably the only one inside of the top 10 right now that isn't good on fuel. But tire management is going to be a big thing tonight. We saw seen a lot of tire saving today, a lot of tire wear as well. Tires mean a lot today here at Charlotte. This new Grand National Series update. So it's going to be very, very important to manage your stuff. Make sure you can stay out front here. Of course, coming up tomorrow night is the 5th running of the date of the the NASCAR
Okay.
The NASCAR
You're trying to
iRacing
start-
FedEx Cup Series. Charlotte 600 here for Season 5. Pre-race coverage starts 7:30 p.m. Eastern Time. Live here on the channel tomorrow night.
You're trying to start the season back over. That was like
Yeah,
3 months ago.
Not the Daytona 500. Definitely a little bit different to that.
Already promoting season 6.
Yep. All right, pace car is back in. Gauntly stays out in old tires. What can he do in the bottom here? Will he spin the tires? Here we go to the Echo Park Automotive Restart Zone. We actually gets a great jump on the outside lane. And Cole Wilson's loose into the door of Cameron Chandler and gets split 3 wide middle by that 10 car of Ortiz. Chandler is second place. He's seen Knox Thompson in the bottom as well. Cole Wilson 3 wide to the middle of the pack. Gonna slide up the racetrack to clear himself on Ortiz. Gauntly's trying to block for his life down the back straightaway, and here comes Cameron Chandler. Fresh tires around the outside. Ooh, Gauntly's looking pretty slow. You see in the wall, that 10 car of Ortiz. Gauntly sideways and knocks Thompson spins, and they're wrecking big time down the front straightaway. Gauntly's involved. See the 17 of Maddox Beard. Thompson comes back in front of the racetrack. That 23 car of Sanchez is taken out. Jacob Clarino spins. It's the big one down the front stretch at Charlotte, and that could have all been avoided if Jeremiah Gauntly did pit. Or he didn't pit, I mean. Wow. Unbelievable. Gauntly is still in third, by the way. But a big wreck down the front stretch brings out our 5th caution of the day already. Let's see what happens. I mean, it all started with Gauntly being slow on those older tires. It was very slow in the apron. You see Thompson got to his bumper, and then White took that 48 car, unfortunately, and there they go. Big wreck down the front straightaway. Thompson collects others. You see the 42 Aiden Hole spins. The 27 Rojak Koch, he spins the Cole Clausen through the grass. My goodness, I'm going to ride along the 71 car. See how he made it through. Here's Clausen. There they spin ahead of him. Goes all the way to the apron to the grass, and oh man, not a very rough ride because of the AstroTurf here around Charlotte Motor Speedway. Luckily for Cole Clausen, but wow. What a way to bring out now our 5th caution of the day here at Charlotte Motor Speedway. Let's be real here. Let's be real here. This one has been a little bit messy as of late. Alright, so I would expect none of your leaders to pit here. They already are on, what now, their 3rd set of tires, so only 1 remaining in the pits for your leaders. Maybe Jeremiah Gauntly, for some reason, is being scored. Here he comes, pit right now. Yeah, this thing just got absolutely wild. Looking at the damaged cars on pit road, you got Joseph Lewis there in the 28, the 70 there of Ethan McMillan. Leaders are not choosing yet. Got the 23 there of Ethan Sanchez. Knox Thompson, big damage to his 48 car. You see the 17 there of Maddox Beard, and the 33 of Jacob Clarino for Chandler Wilson Racing. Landon, did you get any damage from that?
Yeah, like 7 minutes of damage.
Wow. That's unfortunate.
It was all on the right front too, so.
By the way, you hear you're actually Cameron Chandler coasting, trying to save a bit of fuel. I mean, you would think they'd be good on their number, but maybe Chandler feeling a little bit of something that he's concerned about. So a lot of cars here trying to repair some damage. Eli Tomlin will now roll off of pit road first. There's that 21 of Shepard as well. And here's Cameron Chandler, your leader. Cole Wilson second. Wyatt Youngblood is being scored in 3rd for some reason. Well, Malone is now ahead of him. I'm not really sure what the ticker's doing. But yeah, so leaders will come to the choose this time by. We will restart on lap 98. I believe Knox Thompson able to roll off, others as well. Thompson actually still sitting there as the leaders come to the choose. So a lot of cautions have come out lately. Chandler goes inside. How about Malone going outside there? There have been, like I said, a lot of yellows that have fallen lately here at Charlotte Motor Speedway. And the biggest one just came out that time by the big one down the front straightaway. I don't know if it takes out any cars officially out of the race. But definitely not going to be too helpful to some of these guys.
Wrecking again.
Are you kidding me?
Pretty sure the 29 was in it.
I don't know what. I have no idea what we're looking at. Oh my god.
I need that about 4 more times.
I believe our stream had a bit of an issue. Pick up something. Let's take a look here. What happened to Gauntly? Wow, already the 6th caution of the day. Oh, there's what happens. So I don't think our stream. Something happened to the stream. Didn't catch the restart. Oh, Gauntly just loses it. What is he doing? That is ridiculous. Just loses it, and that should not have been a caution again. It is getting pathetic out here, unfortunately. My god. I mean, you cannot lose it in the middle of the straightaway like that. That's ridiculous. Well, we're under the caution yet again here at Charlotte Motor Speedway. My goodness. I mean, after going green for the first 55 laps, we've had now 6 yellows in the last about 50. That's crazy. And should not be happening, but here we are. I'm not really sure what Aiden Holes is doing. That's, yeah. All right, we got cars coming up here. There's the 929 Gauntly just caused an accident. Lost in the middle of the straightaway. This is good for some of these drivers that wrecked the big one we just had earlier to get damage repair. But yeah, so Cameron Chandler still leads here at Charlotte.
Like I said, first 50 laps were calm, and now this is all. We've had like 5 cautions the last, not even 40 laps.
Yeah, it's been a mess lately. I don't understand, as they started off so clean, how this all of a sudden happened.
I know, and it was fun, like on that 50-lap run.
Definitely looked pretty fun out there. As we'll come to lap 100 this time by to choose, then we'll restart with 34 to go. Malone, of course, on the restart got 2nd place from Cole Wilson. He's back to 3rd. Youngblood 4th. Harklot's P5. Let's see if we'd actually get somewhat of a run in here after what we did earlier. Coming to the choose cone this time by. Cameron Chandler here. He's going to choose the bottom outside there for Jacob Malone. Cole Wilson chooses the bottom. Alrighty. He'll choose around him again. So, like I said, we're going to have 34 remaining here at Charlotte Motor Speedway. And, yeah, this has been pretty chaotic as of late. Come back to green pretty soon now. Back live here at Charlotte. Sorry, just had to actually take off some layers here in the booth. It has been it's been such a hot day, hot last few days as well. It's been 80 degrees today, and now the beginning of March, which is unheard of from where we are broadcasting from. So, as we get ready to go back green here on lap 101, it'll be Cameron Chandler in the inside lane, Jacob Malone on the outside. Sorry if commentating wasn't the greatest in the first 100 laps, but the heat was actually getting to me a little bit, but we should be good to go for these last 34. All right, coming back green in Charlotte with 34 laps remaining. Let's see if we can get somewhat of a run in here. Back to green. What a great restart by Cameron Chandler. He is just about clear. Yes, he is on Jacob Malone. Actually did a good job in this 66 car, though. Heading back into 1 and 2, and Malone looking to the inside for the race lead. Nope, not yet. stays in line, side by side. Now he is there, door to door, through 3 and 4. On the bottom. Malone to the bottom of the racetrack on Chandler. He is going to clear that A car. Wow, what a pass by Jacob Malone. Around Cameron Chandler.
They're wrecking again.
Oh my God, are you kidding me?
Same two people.
Absolutely ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. With Jeremiah Gauntlet again. Let's see what he did.
It's the same two drivers.
There's nothing else to look at there. You saw him just lose it and then just under caution yet again. I don't know what they're doing back there. That's pretty outrageous.
We got to do something so we don't have this happen next season. You got to do something.
That's nothing I can really do about 2 drivers in the middle
I'm saying
of the race.
I'm saying like next season.
Well, I mean, next season's way off, so I don't know. Okay.
Get it in your head, buddy.
Well, we're under caution again here because they just, I don't know what they're doing back there. Jeremiah Gauntlet and Sean,
Knox Thompson?
Yes, Knox Thompson. Thank you, Landon. They've been the cause of majority of the incidents over these last few laps. This has been
I think it's been
outrageous
about
back there.
I think they've been in like 3 or 4 cautions in the last 10 laps. Oh, we're gonna definitely make it on fuel, guys.
That's for damn sure. My goodness. Of course, a lot of these drivers still getting used to the brand new package, but that's not really an excuse to keep wrecking back there for last. All right, so nobody from the lead will pit. Malone is now, of course, your leader. And on pit road, actually, 1 car pits. That's 35 Downey. And Knox Thompson again on pit road. He has just had an awful race as of late. And caused the majority of the incidents lately. So after the first 55 laps went caution-free, we have now had 7 cautions in the last 50. That is ridiculous. A ridiculous turnaround, I should say. Unbelievable. I mean, that's crazy. How do you even do that? Yeah, it's been a story of 2 different races. Hopefully now we can actually get some good racing in because we got a lot of drivers. Let's look at this real quick. Like Malone, got Cameron Chandler as well. He is, of course, running in second. Cole Wilson, White Youngblood even 37. If we get a short run here to end the race later on, he's running in 30. He could have a good shot at it. You got Redmond inside the top 5. Your pole sitter, Christian Urquhart, still running in 6th. Ortiz in 7th. So a lot of drivers still left to contend for this win. If they could just keep it straight. Alrighty, so coming back to the choose cone again here in Charlotte. I feel like we've done the choose cone more than we've done actual green flag laps over the last 40 or so laps here. Malone gonna, of course, obviously choose the bottom. Youngblood chooses the outside 3rd, kind of interesting. Alright. Traffic jam here down the front straightaway like it always is coming to the choose cone. This is not going to be good for Ethan McMillan outside the top 25. I believe for the 2nd straight race. Finishing, that is. Lost the points lead last week. Dover. He's falling even further behind tonight in Charlotte with Herklotz having a top 10 day. Of course, no stage points are awarded in the Grand National Series anymore. So it's just all up to what you can do. Like, there's been no points awarded besides the pole position today. Also get points for obviously finishing the race, getting 0x instant points, and leading the most laps. All right. Well, here we go. Ready for the restart in Charlotte. Going to be 29 laps to go from America's home of racing. Here we go yet again from Charlotte Motor Speedway. Pace car is back down pit road. Jacob Malone, Cameron Chandler, two very quick race cars lead us back to the green flag again in Charlotte. Let's try to do this restart yet again. A great jump by that 66 of Jacob Malone. He is absolutely gone. Not the greatest of starts for the 8 car of Cameron Chandler. Actually has his teammate, that 22 car of Cole Wilson, down to the inside for second place and already clear on him. What a restart by that 22 car. Up to P2 goes Cole Wilson. 3 wide again. It pulls to the inside, running Jeremiah Gauntlet's paint scheme. Got that 10 car of Carlos Ortiz all the way to the bottom of the racetrack. 3 wide once more. Cherry up to the outside there of the 00 of Herklotz. And for the leads, oh my God, side by side. Here comes Cole Wilson on the bottom of that 66 of Malone. Back into 1 and 2. Wilson's lose his quarter panel. You got, how about a great restart by that 37 of White Youngblood. He's to the outside now, and Wilson for second. We know that short run pace is good in that 37 car. Wants to take advantage of it now. Now to the outside for the race lead on Jacob Malone. Look at that great start by that 37 car. Here comes Wyatt Youngblood with under 29 laps to go to the outside. Car through the grass, that was Cole Clausen. And clear for the race lead. But remember, tire saving going to be a big key as this race goes on. This now could be for the win, side by side between Wilson and Malone. As we expect that 37 car to fall back. Wilson in the second, Malone now to third. Youngblood pulling away, but he is the ultimate king of burning up tires. There's Aiden Holes in the 42 car. That 31 also, that is Richard Cherry. Christian Herklotz on the outside in 6th. Maybe battling for 5th place as well on the outside of Aiden Holes. But Wyatt Youngblood leads this race. The final closing stages of it. Can he possibly hold on? I mean, this is, oh, we got a car on the apron, by the way. Aiden Holes saves it. It's not impossible for him to hold on, obviously. But it would be very, very hard the way that car has been on the long runs these last 2 weeks. Sorry. There he is, currently leading the race in Charlotte. 2nd place, Cole Wilson. 3rd place, Jacob Malone. 4th still is Cameron Chandler. They got side by side behind him between that 94 of Erdman and the 31 of Cheery for 6th. Cheery has that spot made up. 25 laps remain in Charlotte. An underdog contender still could be Richard Cherry, you never know. Was fast on the long run last week in Dover. Could have had the win. Now we got battle for the lead. Here comes Cole Wilson. Like I said was going to happen to the inside of Wyatt Youngblood. Didn't last very long with that 37 car. No, not door to door just yet. He's still going to stay in line, and that's going to allow Jacob Malone to close back up. Wilson to the outside of Youngblood for the race lead again. For that 37 car making slide up the racetrack. Wilson's got to be careful around the outside of him. They're going to be door to door, down the front straightaway, side by side for the race lead. Where is Malone going to go? Wilson still cannot complete the pass. Youngblood loose in the bottom. Malone trying to go to the outside to follow in Cole Wilson. Wilson is clear. Actually, Youngblood gets in line behind Wilson in front of Malone. That's very good news out of the 22 car. That's exactly what the 22 of Wilson needs to see there. Malone's going to have a run down this front straightaway on Youngblood. Where is he going to take it? He'll go out way outside to the wall. Nearly in the wall. My goodness, he is absolutely ripping the boards. Going to have a huge run coming off corner exit. He will take it down to the inside on Youngblood. Chandler looking to go with him. Herglass out of the inside of Cameron Chandler. Cole Wilson still leads this race. They are side by side for 2nd place. Down the front straightaway between Malone and Youngblood. Where will Cameron Chandler make a move back there? Still battling for 5th. 4th. Oh, slide job! My goodness, it doesn't work. Youngblood is still there on Jacob Malone. Now this allows Cherry to get to the battle as well. This is just allowing Cole Wilson to pull away. Oh, Malone slides up the racetrack. Chandler's got to run. Here comes Sherry, 3 wide around the outside lane on both Youngblood and Chandler. Malone is clear, trying to block the outside, trying to block 3 lanes at once like it's Talladega. Through the middle and falling back to that 37 car. And now Sherry to the outside. He passes Herklotz, passes Youngblood, looking to pass Chandler as well. He is there in the A car. No, he's not anymore, but he's still going to have a run here in 4th. But Chandler on the bottom of Jacob Malone. Or 2nd. Cole Wilson wants these guys to race as hard as possible for P2 for as long as possible, but Chandler is just about clear. Now he is clear. He can do it off corner exit on Jacob Malone. To P2 goes that machine of Cameron Chandler with 19 laps remaining. Got about his, oh, he had a wreck actually, big wreck, hard on the wall. Eli Tomlin and Ortiz comes back in front of the racetrack, destroys his machine in front of Aiden Holes. What a hit though by Eli Tomlin to the inside, and the caution's out with 19 to go, and oh, comes back in front of Kerry Freeds. Also have another car spun around, that's Maddox Beard again. Huge, huge shot out of the 90, and he is destroyed. Well, that changes everything. Wow. What happened? So let's take a look here. There's Eli Tomlin in the 90. Having a good day all the way around inside of the top 10 tonight. Oh, I don't know. He cleared himself, but then part of the wall he goes, look at that hit for that 10 car of Ortiz. But Youngblood had some sort of issue with having the ball. Then that 17 car got turned around. There's a lot to dissect here. Landon, can you tell me if they're on pit road or not?
I don't know. I'm on the back straightaway.
So Youngblood there. Oh, he gets cleared by Erdman, and then that 90 car shoots. Oh, what a hit. That's awful. And then look at the 10 car of Ortiz comes back in front of the racetrack, and then Youngblood cleans out that 17 of Maddox Beard coming back in front of the racetrack. Real quick, I want to see if leaders pit. They are.
Yes, they are.
Here they come. 21 stay out now. Caution is out. That changes everything. I believe Gatlin Downey stayed out. The only one. From the looks of it. All right, well, leaders are on pit road here in Charlotte. With 17 laps to go. Will it be 4 fresh Goodyear tires? It's now a time to take 2. Who knows? They're good on fuel. Don't got to worry about that. 21 take 2 here. Looking like 4 tires for most of the fields. Here we go off pit road. Battle going to be Cole Wilson first. Second place going to be Jacob Malone. Gets spot on Cameron Chandler, who actually loses maybe 2. No, he's going to lose 1. Here will be 4th off pit road. 5th place will be Youngblood. And Gatlin Downey in the 35 stays out. Okay. Let's see how this goes. Should surely be interesting to maybe end this race. We've had a lot of wrecks here in the second half, to say the least. So here's some cars on pit road. I think definitely Tomlin going to be done. Aiden Hole's probably done for the day as well. Unfortunate for those two. And probably Carlos Ortiz as well. Okay.
You know, we've had a lot of cautions when I've repaired like almost 6 minutes of damage.
Yeah, that's pretty outrageous. So Gatlin Downey stays out here on old tires. How will this go? Look at the shoes. We'll restart with 15 laps remaining here. Downey chooses top. You're going to see top 2 both choose bottom. Chandler will now be on the 2nd row. But of course behind Gatlin Downey. I'm not really sure if that's the place you want to be right now.
Where did the leader go?
What?
What lane did the leader pick?
Outside.
Okay, I'm going inside.
On old tires.
Yeah, that's why I'm going the inside.
All right, well, this has been one hell of a race. Of course, the longest Grand National Series race by distance in history has certainly felt like it. My goodness. These drivers in Grand National are not used to this format whatsoever. Of course, for the next race, the next mile-and-a-half race at Homestead, Miami in 2 weeks, they'll be back to 100 laps. This race would have been over by now. But, of course, 134 tonight. The normal length of a Cup Series race that isn't the Charlotte is 600 tomorrow. Well, here we go. It's been a wild one lately at Charlotte. Time to maybe finish it off. 15 laps to go once the green flag comes back out here. So many still strong contenders, probably outside of Downey, my God. Probably all of the top 6 could still realistically win this race, maybe even others. Here we go. What can the old tires of Downey do in the outside lane? 15 remain at Charlotte Motor Speedway. Back to the green flag. We go again. Not actually a bad restart at all for the outside lane. Downey did a good job. We're going to have Cole Wilson at the bottom. He's going to be maybe split 3 wide. Downey is the 35. Yes, he will. As they head back and on into a bad restart by the 8 car of Cameron Chandler. And now here we go for the lead. Jacob Malone on the inside of Cole Wilson, side by side, down the back straightaway. Malone in that Ford Mustang to the bottom of Wilson. Door to door, through turns 3 and 4.
They're wrecking again.
Oh, Cole Clausen, oh my God, this is a joke. And they're wrecking. Oh,
Holy
man!
arc break.
And flipping for the 3rd straight season. You can actually get to it. The worst camera angles I've ever seen. The 37 of Youngblood goes upside down. That is the 3rd straight season. Wyatt Youngblood, of course. That is the 3rd straight season we have had a flip in this race. That is unbelievable. I think it was a flip. We had a horrible camera angle because of the great iRacing camera packs. Let's see here. It starts, Cole Clausen just loses it by himself, and then Youngblood on the bottom. Oh, Herklot somehow got loose, and look at this hit. Oh, and then he gets slammed by Ehrman, and it goes on his lid.
I just heard over the radio Wyatt said, if I'm not going to win this race, I at least want to flip.
Let's ride along with him. This is going to be a wild ride. Yeah, just gets turned. I can look at the blimp to see a better angle. Look at that hit he took and then upside down on his roof. Does a full flip. The 3rd straight season we've had a flip in the Grand National Series here at Charlotte. That is wild. I mean, it's not very common to have a flip in an actual race. So it's pretty insane that now that's happened 3 straight seasons. From the blimp, this is going to be giving us a better angle. See, Clausen hits the wall hard, and then I got to ride along with the 00 car to see what happened to Herklot's. Oh. Oh, and the Christian got hit again. Man, they just continue to pile up. Let's ride with Christian Herklot's. It kind of just started most of the accident here. Youngblood got loose, and then Herklot's had contact, and then there he goes. Wow, this has just been an absolute mess lately. Unfortunate. After what a great race it was early on. $13 to go here at Charlotte Motor Speedway. And we still do not know who's going to win this race. It's wide open.
Are we going to set a caution record tonight?
No, not even close. Martinsville exists.
What about for Grand National?
Yeah, no, not close. Martinsville exists, like I said.
This has got to be in the top 3, though.
I don't think so. Earlier
Actually?
seasons they've had, earlier seasons. As we come to the choose here, this field has definitely thinned out a little bit.
I swear, if I repair like 9 minutes of damage, because I got damage in that caution too, there's something wrong.
All right, well, here we go. We are just going to have 11 laps remaining in Charlotte for the Grand National Series. After a clean start, 55 laps completely clean and green, it has been a disaster as of late. But hopefully we can salvage something here with this good finish, maybe. I hope. Only now, what, 16, 17 cars left on the lead lap. And about
16 cars left.
About 9, 10 cars out of the... there's more than 16 cars left. that 9 or probably about like 12 cars out of the race, which is a lot. But here we go. All right. I believe we're working caution number 9 here in Charlotte. Pace car back to pit road again. Cole Wilson, Jacob Malone gonna lead this field to the green with 11 to go. Even a restart, maybe a little better by Wilson. He is clear of Malone, actually. Chandler now side by side for second with that 66 car. No more tire saving now, it's go time. Malone, a good run around the outside to get clear back into second place. Now he will set his eyes on your leader, Cole Wilson. Malone has been very good on the short runs, but what can he do if this in these last 10 laps? Coming to 10 to go this time by. Cole Wilson, it's been a difficult season all year long. Currently sits 8th in points entering this race. Your defending Grand National Series champion. Gonna try to hold on for his first win of the season, but Jacob Malone might be even hungrier as he's gonna run down the back straightaway. Malone currently sits 12th in points. It's been an abysmal year out of the 66 car. Completely missing expectations what they thought was gonna happen this year. These two drivers both desperately needing wins. Here goes Malone, drives to the inside, almost on that 22 car. A good corner there, corner exit by Cole Wilson. He will pull away down the backstretch. Malone now falling to the clutches of Cameron Chandler for second. I told you the short run pace really good on that 66, but all of a sudden, not even 3 laps in, loses it. And look at cheering out of the cheering out of the inside of Chandler. Side by side down the front straightaway and back into 1 and 2 for third. Another driver hungry for a win is Richard Cherry. At this point of the season, Malone, Wilson, and Cherry were all expected to have at least multiple victories, if not at least one. They are completely winless between the 3 of them. Absolutely ridiculous. Coming to 7 to go this time by for Cole Wilson. Malone about 3/10 back, wants to try to make one final charge, but he's got Cameron Chandler driving to his inside again for P2. I mean, Cole wants to see these two race as long as possible for second place. That will just allow him to pull away for the lead and obviously would not want a caution. Malone all the way to the boards through 3 and 4. Wilson continues to lead. Oh, and the wall a little bit goes that 66 car. That's going to allow Cameron Chandler to maybe get clear down the front straightaway. He is clear. That's definitely not what Cole Wilson wants to see yet. As Chandler is second with 6 laps to go. Can he run him down? Cole Wilson needs this win. Chandler, of course, definitely doesn't need it. Full time in the Cup Series, not running for points, but would love it going to the Charlotte 600 where he tries to win his second career 600 race. Coming to 5 laps to go. This time by from Concord, North Carolina. Cole Wilson the gap, about half a second that time by. But Chandler ever so slightly is quicker. Wilson's got to be watching his beer. He got to stay calm. And Knox Thompson nearly is wrecking someone behind him. That's the 07 battling for 5th place. Somehow Knox has been able to repair all of his damage. All these yellows have been he's running inside of the top 10 again, side by side for 5th. That lap time by Chandler ever so slightly quicker, but would not be enough to close down the gap at this pace. Florino back in the battle in 7th as well. There's Downey in 8th, still holding tough on those older tires. Herflot's out of the way on the bottom. He's got damage. Up front once again, coming to 3 laps to go this time by. If you showed Cole Wilson this racing behind him, I don't think he'd be too happy. They're side-by-side 4-way battle for about 5th place. And here we go, door-to-door between Cheery and Malone for what is 3rd. Cheery up the racetrack, nearly to the door of that 66 car. Oh, out of the way, Cole Wilson trying to pass a lap car. That just made him lose a lot of time. Cameron Chandler's got to run. What was that 4 car of Kerry Freed's doing? I don't know if it was his fault or not. Not really sure. Wilson coming at 2 to go this time by. They're side by side for third behind him. And for the race lead for the win between Cameron Chandler and Cole Wilson. Here we go. The battle is on for the win in Charlotte. Cameron Chandler's been involved in a thrilling finish here before. That was the Season 3 Coke 600. Can he do another one and maybe another win? He won this exact race back in Season 3. Up the racetrack goes Wilson. He's almost in the wall. Chandler's going to run down the front straightaway. Coming to 1 to go. Here comes Cameron Chandler. He's at the bottom of the racetrack. Trying to get there, but cannot get to his inside just yet. Final lap underway as they make their way through 1 and 2 for the final time. Ooh, Cameron Chandler's going to have a bit of a run. Cole Wilson slides up the racetrack yet again, heading down the backstretch one more time. Can Chandler close the gap for the win? Final time down the 3 and 4. He's there. Wilson up the racetrack. Here comes Chandler. Here they come, side by side, coming to the line. Contact is made at the line. Who won it? I don't even know. I believe it was Wilson. I don't know. Photo finished. Unbelievable. Who won the race?
It shows on iRacing. It shows Cole won.
We gotta take a look. Gotta take a better angle at this. Here they come, side by side down the front straightaway, and that is the margin of victory. Unbelievable photo finish at the line. Incredible. Cole Wilson finally gets his first win of the year. What a finish. Unbelievable.
Margin of victory was 0.038.
3/100ths of a second, and Cole Wilson wins in Charlotte in a photo finish with Cameron Chandler. It all started, I don't know what happened with him in the lap car, Cole. We got to take a better angle at that. But my goodness, what a finish, what a race. Cole Wilson wins it in a photo finish here at Charlotte. Unreal. Cole has been needing this win for so long. Your defending series champion finally gets back to victory lane. He definitely deserved this one. I believe led close for the most of the laps. Really, really great points today for the 22 car after such a disappointing season. This is definitely going to help. And his teammate and driver that he just beat in that incredible photo finish, Cameron Chandler, will come to congratulate him. What a race in Charlotte. Unbelievable. Photo finish at the line between Cameron Chandler and Cole Wilson. You don't see that every day. I mean, we got to take a look at what happened there. I mean, I was just in awe of what was going on there. Somehow, well, let's actually first of all start with the lap car. What happened there between him and Cole Wilson, because Cole had about a half-second lead over Cameron. So it was looking pretty good for him. And then all of a sudden, that lap car came out of nowhere. Let's see. So I want to look there. The 4 car. That's not the 4 car. Okay, iRacing. There's the 4 car. Sorry. iRacing's having a bit of a moment. Okay. There's the 4 car. Way off the pace was Kiri Freeds. He goes up to the outside to 1 and 2, probably just trying to let the leader by. Oh, does Cole just catch him in a bad... Oh, my God. That is a horrific spot. Horrendous spot to catch him. I don't think there's anything really Kiri Freaks did wrong. Just trying to get out of the way, but man. And now let's look at the final lap. See how this whole thing went down. So, of course, Chandler threw 1 and 2 for the final time on the bumper of that 22 car. Cole had a good quarter entry here. I thought he was set, but then you see him slide up the racetrack. That gave Cameron a good run down the back straightaway. Carried that momentum, and then he had one final shot through 3 and 4. Cole actually left the bottom open a little bit, as you saw, and Cameron Chandler was actually able to get there to his inside. He left the door open. They were side by side down the front straightaway, and here they come. And now it's just going to door slam each other like Cole does, and that's the margin of victory. I don't think Cole wins this race if he doesn't door slam Cameron. And Cameron doesn't seem too mad about it, so we'll ride along with the 8 car. goes, just, oh my god, he moves him up with some dirty air there, just finds a place in line, side by side, gets door slammed, and barely loses the race to finish second, but still, valiant effort. What a day. What an incredible finish. I mean, just unbelievable. That makes up for what we saw today in this race. Absolutely incredible. Margin of victory, like we said, 3/100ths of a second. It definitely looked a lot closer from the angle that we originally had, but still obviously very close finish. A photo finish to be exact. Man, what a day in Charlotte. What a finish. What a win for Cole Wilson. Post-race interviews coming up right away after a long, grueling one. The longest race these drivers will face all season in the Grand National Series. And here we go. Gonna have some post-race interviews coming up. Of course, with your winner, Cole Wilson. Cole Wilson, what a finish. You somehow defeat Cameron Chandler. Unbelievable. How did you hang on there for the win in a side-by-side photo finish to finally, as our defending series champion, take your first win of the year?
I don't know. I'm very happy. Finally got the win this season. Hopefully it can turn our season around. It's gone awful so far. But, man, after that restart and I got myself a little gap, I thought I was in for the clear. And then lap car, I ran into the back of him. I almost spun. So Cameron got close to me. And then, yeah, I just had to run the top the last lap to make sure he couldn't get on my inside. And he still got to my inside off of turn 4. Drag race the line, but I beat Cameron Chandler.
Yeah, obviously, what an incredible finish. I mean, like, how did this race go for you guys ultimately today? You led a lot of laps. Obviously, it finished really, really great. But just a really insane race all around. A ton of cautions. What were your thoughts on today's race?
I thought, like, for me, especially, I was one of the best cars. Like you said, I probably led the most laps today. Especially in the day. I was really quick in the day. And as it got to night, Cameron looked like he was the best car. But just the track position was so important with the new iRacing update. The dirty air, having the lead was so key for the aero blocking. And I'm a pro at that from the truck car already, so just able to hang on.
Yeah, so of course now this is a huge win for you guys. It's going to be, I believe, nearly a max points day. Besides, well, you actually got 0x, so 1 point off the max points day as you didn't win the poll, of course. But yeah, just an incredible day. How much do you guys think this is going to help turn your season around?
Oh, I mean, it's a great start. I know I'm already really behind after some of the awful weeks like Dover and Rockingham, but it's a start, and we're just going to keep building, and it's a long season still ahead of us, so we can go chase the championship back-to-back.
All right, Cole Wilson, well, huge congratulations getting your first win of the season and an incredible finish there with Cameron Chandler. Have fun celebrating here with your team owner after that one. You guys should be very proud, and we will see you at Homestead, Miami.
Thank you. I want to thank McConey Setup Shop, NGK Spark Plugs, and all of the CWR crew.
Alrighty. Coming up next, Cameron Chandler. Man, Cameron Chandler, you nearly had it there. Side-by-side photo finish at the line. You've been involved in some other photo finishes here in Grand National. The other one went your way in Fontana back in Season 3. But, man, take me through that final lap.
Yeah, I mean, we needed a few more laps to be able to really do anything against Cole. We had a blazing fast long run car. We started dead last, 2 seconds back from the field because whatever the hell happened on the initial start, and still ended up getting to the lead on pace before that first yellow. But yeah, I mean, me and Cole, we had to. I made him down into turn 3. I got him up the racetrack with thank God you can actually pass on the bottom by getting on someone's quarter. He got up the racetrack a little bit. We were down the straightaway. He came down. I came up trying to rub a little bit to slow each other down. And unfortunately, it's a sad day in America. Cole Wilson won the race and we finished second. But I wanted to make sure I didn't wreck him. He's going full time. I'm not, and he's also unfortunately my co-owner. So. He's got a long way to catch up in points, and hopefully for this win that will help him.
Yeah, of course. But still a great day overall. Are you happy about the speed that we saw out of your 8 car, and did you learn anything for tomorrow's very, very long Charlotte 600?
Yeah, I don't know if we learned anything, but absolutely did have fun, especially those first 50 or so laps before the first yellow. Um, Man, I just wish we could have went green all the way. I don't know. I don't really know what caused all those yellows, but you run 50 laps green, and then someone messes up once, and then the rest of the race is gonna be however many miles of pace in that whatever racetrack we're at. So hopefully the cup race doesn't go like that after the stage, and we can have another solid run like we did tonight, and hopefully go win a 600.
All right, Cameron will, of course, nice job finishing second. Your incredible finish there at the line. We'll see you in the Charlotte 600 tomorrow.
Yes, sir.
Next up, going to be Jacob Malone. Comes home in third. Jacob Malone, a good race all around for you guys. Good points day as well. You guys will finish in third. You had a good, very good short run pace, it looked like, but then after maybe about 5 or so laps, it fell off. What were you feeling there on your race car to finish third here?
Well, at the beginning of the race, it was nice and hot, so I could, go out and kick some butt. But the night came over, the track cooled down. I kind of forgot how to save tires. So then when we got that one main yellow after that like 60 lap run, we then had another short yellow, and then I had enough. I was one of the only cars, I think, apart from Jacob Clarino, who had enough to go to the end, and I was just praying for it to go green. So I was managing my stuff. I haven't seen the front since the track was nice and hot. I was managing tires, focusing on tire wear, not short run pace. And then we then got some short runs, and I got up near the front, and I wasn't used to the colder track, and so it hurt me because of how much it tightened up and the speed increase, and I guess the lesser difficulty in managing brake and throttle. It was a bit more different, so I wasn't adjusted yet, and it kind of kicked my butt on those short runs.
But still, ultimately, a very good points day for you guys. Move up 2 spots in the points. Do you think you're going to be able to continue the momentum to get higher up there and maybe even battle for the championship later in this season?
At the moment, I don't know. As you know, I've kind of missed a few races, and I most likely will miss some more. Um, we'll see what happens. I know I have speed to win a championship, at least win a race, which I haven't done yet, which has been very disappointing. But we'll see where this carries me. It was a lot of fun all night.
All right, Jacob. Well, nice job. Still finishing top 3. Great run for you guys all around. Your good points day. And we'll see you in Homestead.
Thank you, man. Have a good one.
You too. All right, coming up next, going to be what a rebound for Knox Thompson. Knox Thompson, you guys somehow rebound to 4th. Unbelievable. How did you guys do it?
Honestly, I don't know. Insane luck. But I was really fast at the beginning. Just staying top 5 for most of it. I got a lap down by the caution. Then another caution came out. Got my lap back. Somehow got to 5th again. Don't remember how. And then got involved in a few incidents. Fixed 5 minutes of damage in the span with like 30 to go. And then got tires when everybody else didn't because I had to fix my damage. And just got 4th somehow. That battle with Cheery and Malone, we were 3 wide for basically the entirety of the last lap. It was crazy.
Well, of course, we head to next week, or 2 weeks in Homestead. Another mile and a half. Do you guys think you're going to have the same sort of pace?
I'm okay at Homestead. Not the greatest, but I feel like I can run decently well. Just trying to keep the points gap good. I think that maybe this time I can get into 4th.
All right, Knox. Well, nice job. Oh, sorry.
I was going to say, when are points coming out? Or how would I
Like
check
20
them?
minutes.
Okay.
All right, Knox. Well, of course, great job here on the run tonight. What a great recovery drive for you guys, and we'll see you in Homestead.
Yes.
Okay, coming up next is going to be Rich Cherry. Rich Cherry, you guys will finish in 5th today here at Charlotte Motor Speedway. I mean, you guys were just. It looks like you had a fast car. It just looked like you could never really get to the front of the field for whatever reason. So is that kind of what the case was going on there?
Was muted. Well, I mean, I will. I had short run speed whenever I wanted to push, which was at the end. Just I was not quite like after 3 laps. That's what I would get fast, but at that point I was like in fourth trying to pass Jacob Malone, and it was just I couldn't pass him. So, I also got right by Cole Claus. I'm still waiting on an apology for that. It cost me like several spots. They cost me my track position throughout the race. That was a cool finish, though. By the way, I've seen the screenshot. The 07 just decides to block me there and then he still finished sixth somehow. So congratulations for my condolences, I guess. Just freaking awful. Who would have thought a guy probably eating like a bat or something? I don't know. In China in 2019 would have ruined sim racing because that's what the pandemic did. It ruined sim racing. I mean, you have these people wrecking the whole time. 9 cautions at a mile and a half. I don't know, man. It's just awful at this point. Rather go to Le Mans Ultimate or something like that. I mean, way better than to a road course. Really, you don't get your you don't depend on P27 to see how you might adapt to the racetrack and everything.
All right. Well, Cherry, will we see you in tomorrow night's Coke 600 or Charlotte 600?
All right, thank you.
What? It was a question, you fruit. Anyways, coming up next is going to be Chase Modzelski. Chase Modzelski, a good finish for you guys in P6. It was definitely a bit of a race of attrition. Got extremely messy there at the end. But you saw you guys involved in a couple of incidents tonight, but you somehow returned to P6 to get ultimately a top 10 finish here at Charlotte Motor Speedway. How did you ultimately do it there in the closing laps?
Hello?
Did you hear me?
Hello? Oh.
I can hear you.
Okay.
Never mind.
My mic is being stupid.
All right, we can't hear anything now.
Hello?
I,
Okay. Sorry, my mic is being weird.
All right, did you hear my question?
Yes, I heard it.
Okay.
I kind of went with the leaders. I tried my best to make it through the field as fast as I could. I kind of raced really aggressive with the guys around me. Some don't really like that I did that. But it's just the way I race. Yeah, I just try to make up as much ground as I could, stayed where I could, and kept it in P6.
Well, of course, sorry. Well, in 2 weeks, we head to Homestead Miami Speedway, another mile-and-a-half racetrack. After a top 10 run today, do we think we can see you more of the similar pace next or in 2 weeks?
Hopefully.
All right,
I'm not really that good at Homestead, but I sure as hell will try.
All right, well, of course, nice job ultimately on the run tonight, and we will see you at Homestead Miami Speedway.
Yep, thank you.
Okay, coming up next is going to be Jacob Clarino. Jacob Clarino is a P7 oh my god, I can't talk tonight. P7 finish tonight here at Charlotte Motor Speedway. So ultimately, not the worst, not the best race for you guys. Take me through it.
So yeah, we had a roller coaster of a race going on. I was doing goofy stuff like staying out and then pitting with like wanting to go with the pits closed, putting myself in a bad spot. Other than that, race was pretty good. I had a choke job with quali, or I just didn't run good. Then I found myself running barely in the top 10 for the first caution. Then think it was one of the wrecks I checked up for, but I got collected, or I collected myself in it. Repair damage. Then after all my damage, then I stayed out. after one of the caution, the one of the fair cautions. Then I went back in for no reason, just for I guess it was giggles, but also I didn't want to stay out. Went for tires, and uh, I think it was tires. Then avoided a couple other wrecks that I didn't even see. Like what's it called? If you go back, you can see it was the last wreck. Roshan went down in front of me. And I just kept flooring it. I thought because I thought he was let by, and I once the cars dispersed, I saw two guys up against the wall, and I checked up a little bit, and I barely got through. Then was getting battled for the top 5, and I couldn't get back. But other than that, a good race today for the 33 THD machine.
All right, Jacob, we'll move on to Homestead next. Similar type of race. Well, not similar. Well, I guess similar. It's a mile and a half, but not like similar as a mile and a half. But it's still a mile and a half. So okay. I'm tired at this point. We head to Homestead in 2 weeks. What do you guys think you can do there?
Think we run pretty good. I like the mile and a half. The intermediate tracks. I think we'll run good there next Wednesday.
All right. So Jacob, well, nice job on the run tonight. We will see you in Homestead.
Thank you, Steve. I'm about to go.
If to your question, I'm sorry. Yes, I'm running the Coke 600 tomorrow to my detriment or to my benefit.
Hopefully to your benefit.
Okay.
I don't know. Okay. Up next, Atlanta Johnson, you want to do this one, please?
Sure.
Next up, ninth place finisher, Rajon Cook.
Rajon Cook at a top 10 today. You had pretty decent pace. It's something for a top 5.
To be honest with you, man, hey, and on top of that, hey, you do what you got to do. If it's your first time commentating, you just got to go with the flow, you know. But anyways, yeah, I'm for sure certain. I'm not too sure about a top 5, but I am certain that I could have gotten at least maybe 7th or maybe 6th. But you know, it was first a quiet race, and then it became action packed out of nowhere. So you know, although you know I made some mistakes earlier on, I really could not care less. I'm just here to, you know, race, get good finishes, make my team owner Braden happy, and I want to thank Braden too. He's been helping me out, coaching me a little bit here and there. So we were able to get this jailmobile into a good top 10 finish. So that's that. And you know, as always, thank you to my non-existent sponsors. You know, Core Civic. You know, serving America. It's great to serve this country, and through various forms, and it's good to, that they were able to crank out this nice patriotic design to stand up for America.
So one more question: we go to Homestead next week. How are we gonna try to get 2 top 10s in a row?
Correction, we don't go to Homestead. We go to Mexico City. I will not be there since I don't own that track. But two weeks from now, Homestead, Miami. Really, it's just I keep repeating myself. You know, practice here and there, get some advice. You know, practice with some other people that are miles better than me. Hear their advice, and then come race day, you just do what you can do, go with the flow. Don't overthink it. And you just do what you have to do.
Yep, good job on the top 10, and we'll see you the next time we race.
Thank you, sir. God bless you. God bless this great country. God bless America.
Whoopsie, we were accidentally saying Homestead for some reason. Okay.
I just heard you say Homestead, so I didn't pay attention.
Yeah, Mexico City. Sorry about that. That's actually next week, Mexico City. We'll talk about that more later.
That's my off week.
We'll have no, that's actually a busy week. Monday is going to be IndyCar next week. I just got to real quick put this out there. Monday IndyCar at Indianapolis. Tuesday Bristol, the championship for iCar. Wednesday Grand National at Mexico City, and then Thursday Bristol Cup race. So 3 different racetracks next week. All right. Yeah, you can do one more, Landon. Good boy. Nolan Crane.
Nolan Crane, I'm pretty sure we had a battle at the end. You squeaked out a top 10 over me. How do you feel about going? How do you feel about getting a top 10 in this second half of the race? That was pretty chaotic.
Yeah, I mean, we had a terrible start to the race. Like 10 laps in, I couldn't get the car to the bottom and stuffed it in the fence and had really bad wheel damage. And it's like 4 minutes of damage. So my first pit stop, I just sat there and got it all repaired and went like 5 laps down. And with all the cautions we had, I was able to get them back and went from like 24th and ended up finishing 10th. So it was what was looking like was going to be a terrible day turned into be a pretty solid day. And I think what might be my best finish on a 1.5 miles in FedEx because my luck's been not the greatest on the 1.5 miles.
So are we going to see you in Mexico City or we're going to see you at Homestead in 2 weeks?
I'm planning on getting to Mexico City. It all just depends on if I can get the track, have the money to get the track because I haven't bought it yet. But I plan on being there.
Well, if we don't see you in Mexico City, we'll see you in Homestead. Good job on the top 10 tonight.
Thank you.
I think I'm getting the interview.
Yep.
Oh, you're not going to interview me?
No, only top 10s.
Oh, well, when you come back from like 8 minutes of damage?
Yep.
And still had like 2 minutes left?
We have
Thanks.
stuff to do, Landon Johnson. All right. Well. Well, that'll do it tonight here in the NASCAR iRacing FedEx Grand National Series. What a finish between Cole Wilson and Cameron Chandler. Unbelievable. Grand National Series returns next week, the first ever time in Mexico City. The Autodromo Hermandos Rodriguez next week. That's going to be a hell of a race on the road course. So, on behalf of all team winners, drivers, commentators, officials, everyone involved making this league what it is, of course, tomorrow night is the NASCAR iRacing FedEx Cup Series Season number 5. Charlotte 600 pre-race coverage starts at 7:30 p.m. Eastern Time. You'll see cars on the racetrack at 8. And we got a whole packed day of action coming tomorrow night for the Cup Series. 200 laps, the longest race of the season, one of our crown jewel events. We will honor America as well. You'll see what's going to happen tomorrow. We got a lot of special things coming tomorrow, by the way. So that will do it tonight. Good night in Charlotte. We will see you tomorrow night for the main event of the week, the Charlotte 600 for season number 5.